the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion.
God's not dead.
And love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to see a revolution somehow. And love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to bring a revolution somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom. And this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. Let hope arise and make the darkness hide. My faith is dead, I need a
Yes, Lord. Let me hear you say yes. Yes, Lord.
Good morning and welcome to the King's Report this Tuesday, September 19th, 2017, 8th year of Chungi, 7th month, 29th day by the heavenly calendar. I'm your host, Seongjae Sean Moon, the second king of Chanyeolguk. Here, enjoy a wonderful brew in my Peacefully Pete Militia cup. Now, everybody's got to check out the incredible hand-carved logo right above my head here. Look at that beautiful piece by a Japanese brother. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, folks. That is by hand. Carved out by hand. All those little pieces, those little small little, black pieces in the tongue mark or the sword or the ARs, those are all little plugs carved out of other pieces of wood that have been plugged in. Okay, so all sorts of incredible detail work in that piece. That's all carved by hand.
That's wonderful.
Isn't that incredible?
Yes.
Holy Schmidt, that's amazing. Wow, I can also notice a little Kings Report logo at the base side there. Now, tech team, I saw a wonderful, cool little intro. Who made that? That was dope. With the... Oh, we got to see it. Show that viewers. Come on, pick that, pull that up. Pull that up. We want to use that. We got to use that in all these different... We got to mix it up with the intros and outros. So we have that cool little... That was dope. Okay, that was Mish. Good job. Let's see it. Let's see that. I saw that on the Facebook the other day. I tweeted that. But you know, all our like small little video clips should have that, because that was great. It's a great way to have little small little video clips framed in the Kings Report logo. Let's see if we can pull that up. If you can't pull it up, just pull it up on the YouTube channel. It's on. It's the beginning of like one of the videos about prepping. Okay, check this out, everybody. Let's get that on big screen first. Get that on the big screen before you play it. All right, and now let's play it with volume 2. Oh, dang! That looked dope. Do that one more time. Do that one more time. Here, do that one more time. Do that one more time. Here, do that one more time. Play that one more time. We're doing this live, okay? This is unscripted, folks. Unscripted on the Kings Report. Check it out. One more time. Go ahead. Good morning and welcome to the Kings Report this Tuesday, September 19th, 2017. We're doing the intro again. Let's go first to Tim, the Agent Elder, for our AccuWeather forecast. Tim.
All right, it's a cloudy day with probably some passing showers at some time in the day. It's 66 degrees now, and we're getting up to 78. It's going to also be a humid day, as getting kind of a little bit of the indirect effects of Hurricane Jose as it passes along the northeast coast, but not so much. May have a little bit of a stronger wind than usual, but that's about it. Less than 1/10 of an inch of rain, though. Of course, Hurricane Maria is going through the Caribbean, and it passed over the island of Dominica, the nation of Dominica, during the night, and the governor of the says there that there's been a huge devastation. We have to wait until morning to see exactly what's been going on. And Puerto Rico is probably going to get hit tomorrow, Wednesday, and Puerto Rico, of course, is preparing for that. Are we going to cover that during the news section?
Yes. No, why don't you cover it now? It's okay.
I don't have.
But we have literally 160-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes.
That are ravaging the Caribbean.
Right.
Is it potentially going to hit Florida?
Well, we'll have to see. This is, it all depends on where it makes that right turn, that northward turn.
Wow. I mean, this seems to be quite a cluster of hurricanes right around 923.
And hurricanes do sort of come in clusters. People are screaming global warming, but
well, we know it's not global warming, anthropogenic,
Yes.
but it's interesting how they're all like clustered up right around 923.
Right. That is interesting. So islands devastated by Irma just a few weeks ago are now bracing for Hurricane Maria as it bears down on the northern Caribbean. Maria became the second Category 5 hurricane in the 2017 Atlantic hurricane season and is on track to make landfall in Puerto Rico at midweek. The powerful hurricane made landfall in Dominica early Monday night, shortly after becoming a Category 5 hurricane. It is on track to pass over the other islands of the region through midweek. As of 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, that's about 3 hours ago, Maria was a powerful Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds of 155 miles an hour. This is the first recorded Category 5 hurricane to make landfall in Dominica. Tropical storm Erika devastated the island just 2 years ago. Emergency declarations have been approved by President Donald Trump for Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands as people quickly prepare ahead of the storm. After making its closest pass to Guadalupe around 1 a.m., causing winds to gust past 60 miles an hour at the international airport in the center of the island. Maria has taken a slight westward turn away from the island. Category 4 strength winds battered the southwestern portion of the island, while gusty winds and heavy rain will continue for several more hours. The worst of the storm is over there. The storm is not expected to make landfall or even close landfall until Puerto Rico. As of 2 a.m. Tuesday, Maria is a powerful Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds 55 miles an hour. It's moving away from Dominica and taking aim at French Guadeloupe. The storm will impact the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico by Tuesday evening. Both islands are beginning to prepare for Maria's devastating impact. According to Prime Minister Scarrit, emergency crews will begin searching the island when dawn breaks Tuesday morning. That's, I think, reference to Dominica. A Voice of Barbados said that the governor of the United States Virgin Islands, Kenneth Mapp, said all Irma relief services will be halted as U.S. Virgin Islands braces for Maria's impact. And the Ross Medical School, located on the island of Dominica, will hold roll call on Tuesday at 3 p.m. at its St. James Center. The school said on its Facebook page that roll call will take place only as long as the storm has passed. And also, other islands in the Caribbean are already beginning to feel Maria's wrath. In Antigua, a radio station in Antigua said that they are already running backup generators and could no longer broadcast on television. And preliminary reports of severe damage and destruction coming in from Dominica. There's no word yet of casualties, but that could be due to the fact that emergency services are still waiting under cover for the worst of the storm to pass. After Prime Minister Scarrit was rescued, he said in an interview the island was brutally hit. People tell the world that Dominica has been devastated. In the morning we will know how many dead there are, he said.
Well, I mean, 160 mile an hour winds. Can't that lift up cars and houses and something?
160 miles an hour, yeah. I don't know about houses, but certainly. But of course, houses in these areas are built with this in mind.
Right.
They're not like houses around here.
Boy, 160 mile an hour winds. Wow. That would be very, very, very devastating indeed.
Yeah.
Pan out a little bit so we could see the Kings Report logo over there. There we go. Keep going, keep going. There we go. Just like that. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right. That's better. All right, folks. Let's get to our Rima this morning. And we are in Lamentations. Lamentations. This whole section is, first chapter is called Sorrow in Jerusalem. And reframing Jesus, mourning the people's sins. Jeremiah weeps for Jerusalem, the sins of its inhabitants and the resulting desolation that had come at the hands of the Babylonians. Jesus, before his crucifixion, also weeps for Jerusalem. The parallel is not incidental. Jesus scolds Israel for killing its prophets and declares that their enemies will soon overtake them. Whether Jesus is referring to the coming Roman conquest or the spiritual ruin, he joins Jeremiah in mourning the sins of the people. Now it's very sad that Korea has now been the most dangerous place to live on earth. One of the most dangerous places to live on earth now. Korea and Japan. We know that was the site of the heresy. We know that even though it had the position of the Second Israel, the failure of the Korean people and of course the Han Mother and all the microcosmic family fraud leaders betraying and stabbing father in the back for their own personal gain, thinking they can get away with it. Wow, I mean, think about how unbelievably ludicrous that is. They think they can get away with that.
Well, if spirit world doesn't exist, they're okay. If it does, they're in trouble.
Well, it just shows that they don't have true faith.
Right. They don't believe in spirit world.
They don't believe in spirit world. They don't believe in
They don't believe in God.
divine retribution.
Right.
Okay. They don't even believe in God's divine authority. and or wrath. But how foolish. Wow. I mean, it's amazing how stupid these idiots are. But they've, of course, proven themselves as having fake faith and being fakes. But, of course, that is not only a personal consequence, it brings a curse upon the entire nation. And now you have Korea, South Korea, even though it was the second Israel, to uplift and uphold the Messiah, and was blessed to eventually uphold Cheonilguk culture, and Cheonilguk now has become the wasteland of the earth. The most potential for a nuclear holocaust. Trump, just a few days ago, stating that the U.S. will, quote, destroy North Korea if the U.S. has to defend itself and or its ally countries. So we are in a very serious time, and it is obvious, just like Jeremiah weeps for Jerusalem, that God is, of course, weeping for the second Israel. In the midst of our sadness and wandering, Jerusalem remembers her ancient splendor. Now she has fallen to her enemy, and there is no one to help her. Her enemy struck her down and laughed as she fell. Jerusalem has sinned greatly, so she has been tossed away like a filthy rag. All who once honored her now despise her, for they have seen her stripped naked and humiliated. All she can do is groan and hide her face. She defiled herself with immorality and gave no thought of her future. Now she lies in the gutter with no one to lift her out. Lord, see my misery, she cries. The enemy has triumphed. Very, very, very sad. Now, interesting, in this Jesus Bible, Steve Merritt, a man named Steve Merritt, gives a little testimony here about Jesus in Lamentations. Every great narrative has an inciting incident. Something happens that forces the characters to change or grow. There's no retreat from this tipping point. Once the conveyor belt of action starts, the story moves forward inexorably, often leading the characters to newfound freedom or redemption. Hey, that was the wilderness course for us, wasn't it, in this epic Korean drama of the Second King. That forced us to grow, didn't it? In high school, I was playing basketball and went up to block a shot. I hit the floor hard, elbows first, but that wasn't the worst. The medical exam revealed a previously unknown curvature of my spine. I was in a body cast for 8 weeks. Once free of that, I had to wear a contraption called a Milwaukee brace for the next 4 years. It's not something you can hide under your shirt. This metal and plastic eyesore certainly did not make me a chick magnet. This inciting incident plunged me into darkness. My youthful heart was pierced with the arrows of shame and judgment. My suffering was not the result of rebellious choices. Even so, I was ushered into a deeper compassion for others who suffer the consequences of an eye-blink decision. The struggle made me stronger, a bit wiser, more resilient. It also opened my heart to the mystery of Jesus' forgiveness and grace. In the book of Lamentations, the people of Jerusalem experienced their own inciting incident. Their wayward choices have opened the door to catastrophic consequences predicted by Jeremiah's prophecies. Carried off into captivity, the languishing Israelites feel shattered under the heavy hand of God's righteous indignation. They've turned their backs on God, and now their rebellion has seeded a harvest of suffering and doom. A well-known proverb reminds us that it's always darkness before the dawn. Lamentations is a living illustration of that truth. When we are deep in rebellion, pursued by God's discipline, we live under a shadow. But it's in the shadows that we finally see our heart's defiance. We're broken and dependent. Then a new day dawns, bringing with it refined in the furnace hope. Lamentations is an arduous and painful book to read. It's fueled by poetic, dirge-like cadence, and hits us with repeating force. God's people are dragged into the darkness, hemmed in, hunted down, pierced by arrows until they hit rock bottom. Only then do they cry out for his unfailing love. They are banking on this truth. that God finds no pleasure in wrath, but longs for broken and humble hearts. This dark poetry reminds us truly that the wages of sin is death, but also heralds the coming of the dawn of God's epic rescue mission, which all rests on the shoulders of Yeshua, our Savior and Messiah Jesus. He is himself the bright morning star in whom our hope squarely rests. The promises of Jesus is the reminder. God never stops pursuing his people. Sometimes his great love requires great accountability, but God's heart is defined by redemptive intent. And redemptive intent is what will fuel everything Jesus says and does. Liberation and transformation are the outcomes, reminding us of God's glory. Redemption is very powerful. At the same time when redemption happens, you have to understand hell is there and people still go to hell. Why? Because they rebel against God's redemption. They refuse to accept and humble their heart. And that is unfortunately the case with many family frauders. And fortunately the case with many family frauders who are repenting and now realizing that they have sinned gravely before God. The people of God who have cast away their faith and their Messiah and Savior for a false God and a false idol in the Han Mother and the false goddess cult that she is building. They, of course, have sold their eternal souls to the devil himself. And that, of course, will grieve God. But at the same time, you have many who are starting to wake up. Secretly, family frauders are coming under Father's authority. Of course, they were weak and they were pathetic and pitiful. But God still redeems. As long as they admit and are accountable for their heresy and their lack of faith, their fakeness. Of course, as they return back repentful. But it is a way that God has humbled them and humbled their hearts. Because they railed against God's heir, successor, and represented body, the second king. Who I did, of course, everybody knows I did not crown myself. But it was God in the King of Kings who crowned me. And that is why I'm Christ's representative on earth. I am what the Catholics refer to as the vicar of Christ. Not because I've chosen myself to be so, but because my Father made me so. Because I represent him. I am his representative. I am his dwelling place on earth. I am his temple, which he can use to do his will. But I must die, and I must remove myself from the equation. Which, of course, the entire wilderness process has done. And the people of the fallen people of God, who are now realizing that they are fallen, are starting to realize that it is only Christ's represented body in the second king that has stood up for Christ and that has been consistent in maintaining his teaching and method. And not this fake goddess cult, this stupid Gaia cult that the Han Mothers created and the fallen prostitutes have created. It is a sad day when that fateful decision, a moment's eye blink decision, to follow the heresy of the Han Mother because of the lure of potential gold and monetary gain that leads to the destruction of nations and literally the trepidation and trembling of entire civilizations. It is sad because of the Han Mother's curse that within 3.5 years, the nation of Korea has completely collapsed and gone into the hands of the leftist communists. The ones that literally, as their communist central doctrine, seek to eradicate the belief in God. I mean, that's standard Marxist, standard operation procedure. Seeing religion as the opiate of the masses, and particularly Christianity as the opiate of the masses. Then, of course, replacing that with the religion of the state. And that is exactly what Korea has become now. Pursuing now the communism of collapse Latin America. That is promising free things, not only free things, but also promising government jobs and an ever-increasing, growing, rapidly expanding government bureaucracy that will become the oligarchical class. Promises of entering into the sacred oligarchy of the state religion, which is the fallen nation of Korea. It's very sad to see that within the short 3.5 years, as the second king and Cain and Abel predicted and told the Han mother, in a prophetic episode where we were the only voices that stood out in reason, logic, in faith, and in love to warn her of her upcoming doom if she pursued her greed, vanity, and narcissism, proclaiming herself as God and creating the demonic goddess cult. It will only lead to the destruction of Christian culture and the opening of the gate of Babylon, the gate of the gods, plural, meaning false gods, satanic gods, and self-worship. All the other fake and fallen people now proclaiming themselves as false gods. Whereas God's people, who were true and faithful, and stood with the second king and Cain and Abel, and stood with the King of Kings and his appointed direct representative and heir, do not worship themselves. But they are those who are meek and were persecuted and humiliated and mocked. And even the second king has to chastise them because they're too humble sometimes to put on their crowns, which I have given and handed to them. And now as they put on their crowns, the faithful, and take their place as the co-heirs with Christ, standing with the vicar of Christ, the represented body of Christ on earth, represented body, heir and successor to the King of Kings, Hyunjin Moon, Cain and Abel. They're now standing in their place to battle the wages and the wars of Satan and to inherit the kingdom of God. There is redemption for the fallen, yes. It must be done before the end time. For in that end time, as the book of Revelation says, New Jerusalem appears. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The dogs and the heretics, and the deceivers, the whoremongers, will be cast out and not let in. Right back after this short break, stay with us on the King's Report.
Lifting up the name of Jesus, a strong tower meant to save us, and now nothing will defeat us. We are holy, interceding for our children lost and bleeding. We'll see.
Hi guys, I'm down here at the range today. I just learned a new technique from the father of the 44 Magnum, Elmer Keith, which is called shooting out of the notch, which allows you to make really long distance shots and still have an extremely precise sight picture. So I brought my CW9 car down, and with this little gun, we're gonna shoot this little munchkin at 200 yards up in the hills, applying this technique, and hopefully we'll make the shot. To apply this technique, instead of using the blade of the front sight lined up with the top of the rear sight, I'm going to take the dot of the front sight and raise it up so that it's out of the notch, but I'm still going to keep the front sight on my target. Bringing that front sight up like that is going to compensate for the bullet drop over that excessively long distance with just this little gun. So if applied right, we should be making contact. Let's see how it goes. That's how you do it. breath because you gotta run to make sure that is what I thought it was, and it was. So while making this shot, from that distance with these white dot sights, it literally would cover the entire target. You couldn't see what you were shooting. So using the Elmer Keith technique, you were able to raise it out of the back notch. I can't breathe. Out of the back notch, allowing you to keep your accuracy, aim, and also still see the target, which is key because it was a hard shot, not gonna lie. But yeah, it went great, and Elmer knows what he's talking about. And for such a small gun to be able to take that hit, I'm very impressed with this. All right, guys, be sure to like and share, and I'll see you out on the range.
That was awesome. Hey, can I try that one? Yeah, let's do it with the 380. Does everybody have eyes and ears?
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
.58. .614. .646. This time, 471.
Hello folks, I'm Justin Moon, the president of Car Firearms Group, and today I've got the PM40 with True Glow night sights, and look at that, Magna porting. Look at that porting on that. This is our standard PM40 with the day sights, but now this model with the Magna porting and the True Glow night sights. What a difference. The .40 caliber PM have a reputation for being quite a bit of a kicker. They do kick a lot. And so we put the MagnaPorting on these PM40s, and boy, what a difference does that make. It really makes this PM40 shoot a lot softer, reduces the muzzle flip, the recoil comes straight back into you, and becomes a very manageable pistol.
Resurrection somehow. No, I'm lost in your freedom. And this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring, he's roaring like a lion. He's roaring, he's roaring, he's roaring like a lion.
God's not dead.
Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to see a revolution somehow. Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to bring a revolution somehow. No, I'm lost in your freedom. And this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. Let hope arise
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report. Second King reporting live from the Chunigung Palace this morning, Tuesday, September 19th, 2017. And we are joined with Mr. Che Huno from Car Arms, young man who we've known many years from Korea. He was out there in Seoul helping us with ministry and, of course, working in the Korean Foundation and was, of course, one of the faithful young people who stood for True Father and his representative body, the second king and Cain and Abel, and of course is now here in America working at Car Arms. And Huno, what do you have here before you today? Why don't you explain a little bit what you have?
Okay, today I prepared the 3 different plans for the emergency gears. We call it King's Kit. As you see here, we have King's Kit Plan 1 and 2 and 3. Basically, this is the logic behind. We have to prepare before something happens. It's same as health. We should take care of our health before something happens. So
Yes.
emergency stuff, emergency plan. Of course, it's too late. We prepare when something happens. So we always better to be prepared before something happens. So there's a King's Kit Plan 1, which includes this is Molly shoulder bag
Okay.
to
very nice.
contain all those the gears.
That's a high quality molly.
Oh, this is a Pathfinder.
That's Pathfinder.
Yeah.
That's embroidered and everything.
Yes, and this is heavy duty the emergency blanket.
Wait, hold on. Go back to that bag. See that molly strapping? That molly strapping allows you, it's the versatility because you can start putting on other pouches onto that pack to add more stuff. You want to put a water bottle pack, you got a strap. You can also put stuff in the back. You can also attach this to other tactical gear. If you got a backpack with molly strapping, you can attach that to your backpack. You can even attach it to your belt. You see what I'm saying? So what molly does, it's a type of military webbing, okay, which allows you to clip things on, clip first aid kits, clip knife kits, clip gun kits. You can even put your pistol on there if you want.
Yep.
Clip different things with molly attachment pieces, and so it becomes a versatile pizza kit with that ability to merge with other kits to make a more powerful kit. Okay. That's of course high. Look at that. Hold on. Look at that. High quality buckles on that. That ain't no. That is not a cheap Chinese bag. Okay. That is super durable. That's all mil spec, which is military specifications. Huge grab handle on top. That's Cordura. So that's also water resistant and fire resistant as well. And it has the embroidered Pathfinder logo. And it's also got a utility pouch in the front, which I recommend put your fire gear in. Throw in a Bic lighter. It comes, that whole kit right there is based on the 5 C's of Pathfinder School, which I train at via internet. But that whole front pouch kit is what you can put your fire kit in and things like that. So that pouch is really good. It's got a drawstring at the top to hold in that water bottle. It can hold either the canteen or the water bottle. This is the water bottle that I can recommend because it's the base model. This is a 1 liter exactly. Show them the water bottle there. The water bottle here, this is the container. This is one of the 5 C's. There's a container. That's a 32 ounce water bottle. And the reason why Dave Canterbury made it at 32 ounces, or exactly 1 liter, is because most of the water purification tablets are labeled for specification at 1 liter. So you're supposed to use 1 liter water per little tablet, okay? So that's why that's designed in standard 32 ounce. Whereas before, on the market, you could never get standard 32. You always had 34 ounce or 36 ounce, so you had 40 ounce. But this is designed at 1 liter. So number one, you know how much water you're using. The cup also is a 27 ounce cup with gradations. Look inside. It's got gradations inside, measuring markers inside, which is again another innovation of the Pathfinder School. And you won't find these in other things. Of course, now people are starting to copy that stuff, but Dave was the one who was pioneering this. That is the lid as well with strainer, soup strainer, etc. And it's got those weird little marks on the side, the big little cut holes in the side. Right there of the lid. That is to put wiring or fish mouth spreaders through to make your cup into a bale or into a bucket, so that your cup becomes then a mini bush pot, and you can put a little wire through there. I use just a little wire hanger that I bend, and I can put it through those loops. But that container is a container I carry on a day-to-day basis every single day. That's a stainless steel. I've stepped on it, I've dropped it, I've in the night while I was, I've boiled water and I've knocked it over and then stepped on it again by mistake. Full weight, I'm over 200 pounds, you know what I'm saying? And that thing has not bent and disconfigured. So it is a tremendously strong piece of kit. Okay, so there's the Cordura bag with all the attachments, the MOLLE, the front pouch, the haversack strap, etc. All that versatility. Heavy duty Cordura, fire resistant, water resistant, as well as heavy duty buckling. Okay, now continue. Go ahead. Then you have, what do you have? You have your
And I have a
combustion
little
device. There you go.
Small mini Inferno.
Okay, that's also another Pathfinder exclusive. Okay, that is another Pathfinder school, and that is known as mini tinders. So those are what we call surefire technology. Okay, now you should be able to harvest natural tinders if you know anything about bushcraft. In the wild, you can get natural accelerants like pine pitch and some of that. You can get birch bark. You can get, in this region, we have a lot of silver birch or yellow birch. You can easily harvest flammable materials from there. Okay, there are different ways to harvest flammable materials in the wild, but it's not always for sure, because, for example, an area in the wild may not have a particular tinder. Okay, that's where you always need to have a backup tinder, which is, for example, what we have here. And I'm very proud. Car Arms Retail Shop at Tommy Gun Warehouse is an official distributor, right, for the Pathfinder School. So we're able to hook up with Dave out there and the Pathfinder School, which is, of course, the biggest survivor school in the world, and we are able to have the direct distribution. So again, we have the Mini Inferno there. Can we open that? Open that package up. The Mini Inferno, the small Inferno. And we'll show you what's inside these tinders and how you use it. This is Surefire tinder. These are tinders which you carry, which are completely waterproof. Okay, they don't get soiled. Here, can I get one of those? They don't get soiled and destroyed and compromised. Tim, can you hand me one of those? With water. So even if you're in your canoe or you're trudging through a swamp and your whole pack gets wet, you still have a Mini Inferno. And one thing nice, what we do, of course, with these Mini Infernos for Surefire, and when you start, it's good to practice with these, you cut them into fours. So cut them into quarters, so that you have more of them, and you just cut them like a cross, just cut them into different pieces. And then what you have is you have a huge tinder cake. There's a huge tinder cake. And this is a cotton material. So all you do is just pick up the cotton right on the edges right here. You can see how that cotton gets picked up and how it gets very fluffy. Okay? And that fluff is what you want to hit with your ferrocerium rod, which also is included in this kit. So this is your tinder, your Surefire tinder, and this will burn for about 5 minutes to 6 minutes, I believe. This one cake will burn. Now, if you cut into four, it's obviously going to burn for about a minute. But if you're skilled and you understand how to make fires in the wild, you should be able to make a fire with even a quarter. Now, in the rain, I would use the whole thing. If it's raining or the weather's compromised, just use the whole thing. Don't fail on your fire attempt, because then you're going to have to regather all your kindling, etc. If it's a nice day, just use one of the quarters. If it's raining and the weather's compromised and it's snowy or raining, you need to get fired now, just use the whole damn cake. Just use the whole thing. And you just pick up a little right here, as you can see. You just pick up and you hit those little fine fibers that have been created. Hit it with your spark, with your ferro rod, and this will start lighting and start burning. And then you will be able to add your kindling on top of this to get that fire going. Okay? So that is your Surefire. And you have that within a tin. Now there's a reason why Dave and the Pathfinder School made it in that tin. Give me that tin. Because this tin is also another item. This tin is a metal tin, okay? So once you're done with using your Surefire technology, let's say you use all your Surefire technology, now you're out. With your last Surefire, okay, what you should be doing, last Surefire that you use for your fire, you make your fire here. You got your fire going, so your fire is going, all right? Now you got your tin. With your tin, you should get a bandana, cotton material, anything. You can rip a part of your t-shirt off. You can throw a part of your hat in. You know, you got a little t-shirt, your pants. You can cut your sock. As long as it's natural material like cotton. Then you cut off pieces of that material. You put it in here. You put it in here, okay? You close this up. You close it up. And you poke a hole right through here. Just a tiny little hole so it can breathe just a bit. With your knife that's in this kit, you poke a hole. And you throw this into your fire, the whole thing into the fire. This Mini Inferno kit then becomes a char tin, which then chars your cotton material. Could be a part of your shirt, could be a part of your scarf, could be a part of your jacket, could be a part of your pants, could be a part of your sock, okay? And you put that in, and it'll become charred cloth, all right? So that's for your next fire. This tin becomes a charred tin, what is known as a charred tin. And then you have endless, basically, tin to make endless fires as long as you continue to char material. Now, if you don't have any more cotton material in a wilderness survival scenario, you can also harvest wilderness material like punk wood, you know, rotting wood that's very corky and very punky. It's called punk wood. Just walk up to a rotting tree that's leaning over so the rain is not hitting that bottom side. You see what I'm saying? Leaning like that. Go and start digging into that tree that's rotting. And you will get this material out of the tree, which is like, feels like cork. You know, like a cork, like a wine bottle? Feels like cork, feels very spongy. You put that material, as long as it's dry, put it in here. Fill this up with punk wood. Okay? Then you throw that, again, close it up, and you got your hole already there. All right? And now what's happening, you throw that into the fire. And now that wood will become punky and become charred wood. Charred punk wood. Okay, and it will operate, it will act exactly the same as charred cotton cloth, cotton material. You can still hit it with your ferrocerium rod. Open that package up. You can still hit it with your ferrocerium rod, which will create a 3,000 to 4,000 degree spark, and it will light that punk wood and give you an ember. Now, it will operate different from your Surefire technology. Your Surefire technology produces flame, all right? This will produce an actual flame. When you deal with charred material, it will not produce an actual flame, it will produce an ember, But that ember can be fostered to create a flame, all right? So you have to learn these things. That ember that made out of char cloth, char tin, from your char tin, can be made to put into like a grass bundle, like a dry grass bundle. Just get a lot of dry grass and make it into a little bird's nest, like literally a bird's nest, shape it as a bird's nest, put it in the middle, fold it on top gently of that charred material, which is glowing now, it's an ember, and blow on it. Gently blow on it. And you continue to blow on it and increase your blowing as it gets heated up and that grass starts lighting and it starts igniting and it will start burning. And then there is your flame, okay? So your charred material creates an ember, right? An ember, which then you use with organic materials like grass, in survival situation, grass, anything that a bird can use in bird grade. You can even use pine needles. I've used leaves, dry leaves, okay? Anything you can pick up, just make it into a big bundle like a big bird's nest, a big one. Put it in there and blow on it gently. And it will start heating that organic material and then lighting it, and it'll start turning into flame, okay? And when that turns into flame, you turn it upside down so the flame can rise up through it, get it on the ground, on your raft of wood, and then you start adding your kindling very gently to that, okay? So this is why this is made all intentionally with the metal tins, not plastic tins, not plastic bags, metal tins. And that's why Suffer Lens Outfitters and Dave Canterbury, who is the top survival teacher in the world, created it in this format. And that's why at Pathfinder School, they use this. Okay, anybody, the Pathfinder students, we use this kind of stuff, all right? And of course, this is a nice tin. You can buy Altoids tins for this too, but Altoids tins are very big and bulky. One thing I like about this, it's a small tin. You can carry this on your person in a small little fire pouch. You can carry this with you. Surefire. And when you run out of Surefire, you still have a fire tin. All right? That's why this is made with purpose in that way. Now, even though you lose this fire tin, give me that container, give me the container and the knife. Bring the knife here, and Tim, give them the knife and the container and the water bottle too. Okay, now, the reason why Dave also in the Pathfinder School, Dave Canterbury in the Pathfinder School, designed this tin as 2 metal containers, because number one, containers are the hardest thing, one of the hardest things to make in the wild. And to boil water, you need to rock boil, which takes tons of time. And metal containers are the most traded item over the pioneer periods, okay? Where people were trading with the Native Americans. They wanted metal containers. This was the go-to technology because a metal container can allow you to disinfect water so fast, so quick. All you have to do is collect it and boil it. That's it. Once you get it to rolling boil for about 1 minute, depending on elevation, so the safety rule is 1 minute. Just boil it for 1 minute. Once it boils, get it for 1 minute because at high elevation, water boils at a lower temperature, okay? So you boil it for 1 minute, then you're safe basically anywhere. And here you got gradation marks inside here. You got the heavy duty butterfly handles, okay? Which are much better than those stupid folding out long handles. Very, very clumsy, very bad. Butterfly handles are absolutely the best. And with a Y stick, you just get a Y stick, a stick with a Y. You can actually hold this just like this, put one prong in, put the other prong in at the butt right here, and you can hold this up over your fire. You can control it just with a Y stick. People don't know that. This is why you want butterfly handles, not those stupid long handles or that wrap around. They're like long like this. They grab it. You can't manipulate your pot without gloves. But let's say you don't got gloves in your survival situation. You had to run out of the house and you only got that. Well, you get your Y stick, put it in there, and you can actually control and manipulate this over the fire without burning your hands off. You see how that Y stick works? Just like my fingers. The Y stick works just like my fingers. See? All these things. People don't understand this about this type of kit. This is why it's designed with everything like this in mind. Okay? At the neophyte or the person who doesn't understand survival and good quality gear, bomb-proof gear, you are not going to understand why this is made in this way. Or you're just going to think it's by chance. No, it's on purpose. These are the top survival experts in the world. In the world. You understand? Dave is a representative for More Knives now in the U.S. He is their representative. He's the top. This is probably the best-selling bushcraft knife in the world. More from Sweden, okay? But the reason why these 2 containers are made in stainless steel and not plastic, not an Nalgene bottle made in plastic, which is a stupid waste of money. This is a stainless steel bottle that, of course, nests perfectly with this. But the reason why the stainless steel is multifold. Number one, you can have 2 containers to process food in. Okay, so here you're boiling water, here you're cooking food. So you're cooking a meal in one, at the same time you're cooking water, which then does what? It cuts down your necessity to gather more firewood. You can cook in a smaller fire with 2 cooking implements, boil water for your coffee, tea, and medicines, whatever, and you can cook your food in here. That's why there's 2 stainless steel containers, because you can hold your water and you can carry this over distance. That's called conveyance. You can carry this water safely over distance. It has a waterproof tight cup lid. Obviously, you take this lid off when you boil in the wire because otherwise it's going to blow up. You take the lid off and you boil it. Okay? And of course, how you deal with this is you create a little toggle. You just get a little toggle, put it on a string, put that toggle inside, and it will catch on the lips of this stainless steel bottle, and you'll be able to pick this up with just your string. Okay? And a little piece of twig that is about the size of, a little bigger than this mouth. And you just use it as a toggle, let it hang in there, and you can pull this in and off of your fire very easily. We use it all the time. It's one of the first techniques I teach the students and the bushcraft students here. But also the reason why this is 2 stainless steel containers is because it affords you the ability to make medicine. Okay? Medicines, medicinal herbs. Medicinal herbs require hot water and to be boiled multiple times. That's called decoctions, okay? So when you do an infusion, like you're creating tea, you can just boil it once, put your leaves in, and boil, and then put your leaves in, and then let it steep. We call that steeping, like a tea. That's called medicinally an infusion, okay? But then there's a higher level of medicine when you're processing medicinal roots, ginseng, when you're doing Asian medicines like burdock root and different types of chickpuri and these kind of things. When you're making like very heavy duty medicinals, chicory, when you're using this to process heavy duty medicinals, all right? You need to now do a process of multiple boils, okay? So you would put your your roots in here, all right? You would get your water up here, all right? You would then start boiling this in the water. You would get it to a boil. And you would allow it to evaporate the water out. Take the liquid out. Get that boiling, get that root boiling. And you let that evaporate the water down until you get to about, a small portion of water. But now that liquid is very black, it's very dark. Then you pour more water in there. Okay? You pour more water in. And then you let it boil down again. You need to do at least 2 boilings for it to become a medicinal decoction. And of course, and to extract all the heavy nutrient materials, okay, that are in that root herb. That's called decoction. That's another reason why they have 2 different stainless steel bottles, okay, to make and process decoctions. Not only infusions, but decoctions. Also, the third level is you can also use this. Let's say you lost your fire tin. You don't have it. You lost it. You dropped it. Well, your water bottle becomes your emergency fire tin. Okay? So your water bottle becomes your emergency fire tin, which you cannot do with a plastic Nalgene bottle. So I would do the same thing. I would cut cloth off, put the cloth in here, because it's stainless steel. Then you cover it up upside down, effectively creating a trap so that the fire cannot ignite the charred material inside. Now you have the organic material inside here. You can fill this with punk wood. You can fill this with a t-shirt. Cover it up. You put it in the fire now. Now this water bottle container becomes your fire kit in the last ditch emergency. And now you produce a huge amount of char cloth, which then you can carry over distance and use in combination with your fire rod. This is like my fire. See, this is, people don't know this. This is the blade you want. This is the type of blade you want. Look, get close on this blade. This is called a Scandi grind blade. Now, anybody who uses knives and blades, you know this is by far the most, not only deadly, but the best blade geometry for woodworking and survival scenarios. Okay? This blade geometry is called a Scandinavian grind. Okay? And now you can see they've added a modern, more skinning grind at the tip, so you can skin and process animals, because in bushcraft and survival, you may need to skin animals, skin fish, skin raccoons that you catch, skin squirrels, you name it, okay? You may need to do all that kind of thing. But you can see right here, this is an 11-degree grind on both sides, all right? So that edge geometry is like this. That geometry is like this. It comes into a perfect point. That's called a zero edge point. Now, when you look at other knives that are sold on the market, for example, like you look at even tactical knives, you will see this is not a Scandinavian grind. Look close on this edge. This is called a double beveled edge. Okay, so you got one edge here, you got one grind here, and then you got another grind down here. That's a double beveled edge. All right? So this geometry is at a way heavier angle. Okay, which doesn't allow it to slice into wood and bite into wood very tight. So this is not a 0-degree grind. But this, of course, is a fighting blade, so you don't need that. You're going through human tissue. So you're not going through wood and stuff like that. You don't have to process wood and stuff like that for fighting blades. But for survival blades, you need to process wood. You need to, for example, in a survival situation, you may need to construct a debris hut. You may need to construct a shelter. You may need a baton through wood to process materials, process wood for your fire. You may need to get into wood if it's raining to get to the core, to get the dry wood. You may need to get the fat wood and resinous pine material. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to have a Scandinavian grind. That's why the Scandinavian grind is universal in the bushcraft world now. And who was the one who was using Scandinavian grinds from the beginning? It was Mora, and of course, Dave was the one who really introduced it to the world, the Pathfinder School, okay? So you can see that Scandinavian grind. You can see how the light reflects on that? That's an 11-degree grind. You see how that's a different type of grind? And it's not a convex grind. Convex grinds are more like this, okay? And they are more durable, but they do not bite into wood well. Moras are stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about the rust. Okay, this is stainless steel brand. The cheaper ones, the Moras, are carbon steel, so you got to worry about rusting, and they rust like crazy. They're terrible in terms of rust. But this one, this survival Mora is stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about this. You can just forget it in the sheath and forget it. And look how low profile that is, and that's orange, blaze orange, with a lanyard because you want this to be seen. If you drop this in the woods and it's green and you're not experienced, you're going to lose it. That's the reason why it's safety orange. So you can drop it in the woods, you dropped it out of your pack, and you can see it. Number two, it's also a signaling device. Okay? Because it's orange, it is also an emergency signaling device. From far away in the woods, look at this background. Look at my camo suit, right? That's the woods, right? The woods are this color, right? Look at how that stands out in the woods. See how that stands out? So it's easier to find, but you can signal with it. Hey, 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 hey. You see what I'm saying? You can signal with it. See how easily that stands out across the black background or the wood background? And of course, this darker wood pattern, which the woods are this kind of color, right? Darker color, like this. All right? So that's why this kit is designed, these containers are designed that way. The fire kit is designed that way. Okay? And of course, that would be your container devices. That would be your containers. And here is your cutting device. This is the first C, right? The first C is cutting tool. So this is a high quality cutting blade and skinning blade. It's got a rubberized handle and emergency blaze orange. Boom. It's got the perfect ergonomic handle for hammer fisting, for chest lever cutting, for more powerful cuts. You turn the blade around. Okay? For different types of cuts, notch cutting for traps, primitive traps, all that stuff, you name it. And the nice thing about this, look at this. Inside the butt of the handle, you twist it one turn, and you pull it out. There is your combustion device. That is the ferrocerium rod. That's your ferrocerium rod. So, your ferrocerium rod is your fire starting device. And you can see how that's on a lanyard, because if you carry this separately, you should always attach it to your belt, because you can lose this. If you lose this, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. You do not want to lose this. You want multiple of these in your kit at all times. Okay? But this one is nice. This is your backup emergency. This is in your knife. All right? So you'll never lose it. As long as you have your knife, it's always there for you. All right? You just give it a turn and pull it out. Now, the Moras normally are not ground down to a 90-degree edge on this backside edge. The Moras usually have a rounded edge, which sucks. It's terrible. They've modified that. Why? Because of Dave Kahneman Pathfinder School. Because he's the one who brought that to attention to the whole survival community. That you do not want a knife with a rounded spine. Because a rounded spine will not shoot sparks off of your ferrocerium rod. It will just roll off of your rod. And that is why the Pathfinder School and Mora listen to them, and they're the biggest producers of these knives, of this type of bushcraft knife in the world. They listen to him. They modify their entire line because of Dave Canterbury and the Pathfinder. You understand? Pathfinder is the #1 survival school in the world. And they made a 90-degree spine. That 90-degree spine is used not only for scraping your ferrocerium rod. Okay, you get that carbon coating off first. Get the carbon coating off first, see? Get that carbon coating off first so that you can actually see it, right? Now you can see the mesh metal underneath. You see the metal now? And now you can shoot the sparks, see? Now you can shoot the big sparks. See that? And this is the combustion device that you would use with your mini inferno here, which you pick up just a little cotton right here, right? You picked up a little cotton, you fluffed it up just a bit, right? And you would simply get that in there and spark it. See how that's now lit? And now this will burn for a minute. Okay, that will burn for 6 minutes. You see how that lit, right? Everybody saw how that lit? Right? if you want to put it out, you can always and you can use it again. Once you burn it, you can use it again. Put it in there to suffocate the oxygen, it's out. See how easy that was? One spark hit that, easy. Easy. You can't make fire with this, you're a bozo, you suck. Okay, but these kits are meant for you to practice. So as soon as you get it, first thing you should do, use one of those Infernos, cut them in 4s, and practice at least 4 times. That's the first thing you should do as a condition. A conditional offering, you should do it. As soon as you get it, practice 4 times. So you know your tools, you know how to do it, okay? So that's why this 90-degree spine is there. Now, the reason why it's also there is if you don't have any more tinder, you can make tinder off of bark with that 90-degree spine. By scraping this spine on a tree, scraping it, just like you scrape this rod, you can make fine, like powder, wood powder. And some trees are better than others, okay? Pine trees are better, and particularly cedar. If you have cedar in your area, red Western cedar, cedar, that's the best because that flakes off. If you have poplar, okay, this creates great poplar bark tinder as well. You just process it with this. If you have bone, you can't make fire tinder with it, but you can process bone. You can smooth out bones. You can smooth out materials with this 90-degree spine. All right? You can make bone powder to add to your soups even. You can make different medicinals by scraping roots and making into a powder, which increases the surface area, and then you boil that. Why do you think coffee is made into a powder form? Because it becomes more strong and potent when you make things into powders. So you can increase the surface area with that 90. People don't know crap. They don't know why all this is designed this way. We're not playing around here. This is a professional level, you understand? We're not playing around. All this is designed with all functionality and purpose. But if you don't understand it, you're not going to get why these items are better than all the stupid items you may buy on Amazon. You're going to spend $200, $300 buying all these stupid things which don't have any of this functionality. Where you could have got the good things and buy once, cry once. And you know, it's so cheap. It's not even buy once, cry once. But you got the good stuff first with all the functionality already built into it because you have survival experts making them. You understand? Okay. Now this also has a drain hole here. You got a drain hole as well, so that your knife doesn't rust even in seaside areas. You can use the Mora knife. So again, totally bomb-proof knife with the combustion device. You have the cutting tool and the combustion device inside one package. See how streamlined that is? You just hook that in, put that in a pocket. You name it, you got your item right there. Okay, so you got your cutting tool, you got your combustion device. All right, you got your 2 containers, and you got your 3rd container here with your Surefire. All right, you got your Surefire. Now, so you got your cutting tool, combustion device, containers. All right, you got multiple containers, and you got this lid, which of course is also a little grill. You can also cook little meats, a small little piece of squirrel or fish on this here. You just cook it over the fire. I do it all the time. All the time I do it. Cook little meats on this little grill, this little pan. Mini frying pan is what it is. And then what we got? We got 100 feet of paracord here. Tim, give me that paracord. And the bag as well, but the paracord. So including in this kit as well is 100 feet of 550 cord. Okay? Now, within the 550 cord, you have all sorts of other string involved in here. So you got 50 tensile strength strings, 50-pound tensile strength strings. You got 7 of them inside here. All right? Including the casing, that's 8 layers of string. So if you cut this open and you pull it all out, you'll see that there's 7 different strings in there. And that then adds up to 550 pounds test strength. Okay? Now, because you add the top layer for the 8th layer, okay, which is even stronger tensile strength than the strings. So in total, one of this paracord alone is 550 strength. Now, if you pulled out all the string inside of it, you now have 100 foot that now has gone to 600 foot, 700 foot. Okay, 700 foot cordage. And then you add the casing, that's 800 feet of cordage. That is ridiculous. All at over 50-pound tensile strength. Okay, so what can you use the internal cordage for? You can use it for all sorts of things. You can add it to not waste your cordage. And to add it, you can even add stuff to your MOLLE straps, just lashings. You can use the smaller strings to lash tripods together when you want to boil and cook foods over fire. You can use the string and not waste it by using the smaller string by lashing different points on traps, primitive traps. You can use this to lash your knife to a stick, which then makes it into a spear if you're hunting larger game. All right? You can use this lashing in an absolute survival situation, emergency. And of course, you should always test the string first to test your weight. But 550 cord should be able to hold your weight. Okay? You can use it in absolute emergency, and I would probably double it over just to make it even more sure. Give it a 1,000-pound strength. You can use it to actually climb down a cliff if you have to. Okay? I don't recommend it, but if you have to, absolutely have to, double it over. Then you got double the strength, tensile strength. Then you can use it to actually climb down a cliff or climb up something. You can even use it. You can use paracord to burn through paracord. Did you know that? If you don't have a cutting device and you have a long string that you need to cut down and remove, you can use this string like that and just use it as a wrap it over your string and just burn it. Pull it like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it will burn through your string. You can actually cut rope with this string. People don't know that. Okay? You can use the inner strands for fishing devices, for fishing. And if you have a little survival bracelet that, you know, that is, sell that car, the little survival bracelet, you got fishing hooks in there. Oh, you got one here. That's in the family kit. Here, that's in the family kit. You got the little survival bracelet right here. And in here, you have, in this another kit. That's another kit. It's not in this kit, but you have a fishing kit in here. But you just throw a couple hooks in there. You can even duct tape your hooks and one needle for repairs right on the back of your Amora knife. Just tape it. So you always got 2, 3 hooks right there, and you always got a sail needle. You see what I'm saying? And then you got your inner strands, so you got cordage right there for your fishing line. Okay? You can also use, can you believe it? You don't believe it. You can use one of the inner strands as dental floss. I do it all the time if I don't have dental floss. Can you believe that? You can use it as dental floss. And it's very important to get that hygiene. If you're eating meat in the wild, you're eating things you're catching, and that's getting stuck, it's going to start rotting your teeth, giving you problems in the wild. It's going to be worse. So you can use the inner strand as dental floss, which is so beneficial. You can use it to hold your clothes and garments up. If your belt, you have to use your belt to hold your satchel up or something else. You don't have a belt, this can be an improvised belt. It can be an improvised sling. You can use it if you injured your arm to hold your arm up and not move your arm, to sling your arm. It can be used to put together a pad where in which you can hold somebody who's injured and draw him out of the woods. It can, of course, be used to drag things. All these different things, 100 different, million different uses with paracord. So this is 100 feet, 100 foot of paracord in this kit. All right? And also here, then you have the SOL XX large, 2.5 times thicker and larger, not 2.5 times thicker and also larger, 5x8. That's very big for a survival blanket. That's very small and compact. Waterproof tarp. You have a tarp. Okay? And you would use this together with this to make your shelter. All right? By making a simple ridge line. Okay? This does not have grommets in the corners. So all you do is get a little pebble, get a little rock, get a couple just leaves and make it into a little ball. Put that ball inside the tarp corners like this. And that ball creates a little anchor point like this, see? And then you tie the string around that ball so it holds that tarp and it becomes like an anchor point. Does that make sense? And then you use that to draw this tarp out into different configurations, whatever you need to cover yourself and to get out of the inclement weather. So this is based on the 5C kit. You got the heavy duty 5x8 tarp, which is your covering element. You got the 100 feet of 550 strength, tensile strength, paracord, 100 feet. That's huge cordage, huge. You got the cutting tool and the Mora Scandinavian grind with a 90-degree spine. Stainless steel blade, rust proof. You got the combustion device in the candle, in the handle. So it's already the 4 C's right there. You got your mini-forner tin with the Surefire inside. There's a combustion tinder. That's a bonus, by the way. And then you got your final C, which is a container element, which has all of those uses. Char cloth, it's your mini fire tin, emergency fire tin. It's your decoction, medicinal preparation kit. It's your double infusion kit, so you can cook and boil at the same time. All right? And of course, then all this fits into this kit, which of course has a shoulder strap. High quality Pathfinder, core Duramed. You can see the Pathfinder embroidered logo right there. Pathfinder school right there. #1 survival school in the world. All right? And your entire kit, where's the lip on that? Okay. Anyways, your entire kit, boom. Your shelter kit fits right in the back. Your cordage fits right in there as well. And you just remove it from the bag and all that stuff, okay? Your knife fits right in there as well. You can actually just clip your knife on the outside if you want. If you want access to your knife outside, just clip it outside. It's got the MOLLE webbing. So you just clip it on the MOLLE webbing. All right, let's just clip it on, for the now, let's clip it on MOLLE webbing. You got your lid, which you can keep just up in this front pocket up here, or you can just keep it right in the front here. And you got your combustion device. In that lid, you got multiple pouches here. You can put your stuff, whatever you need. You can add a little compass here. All right. You got your heavy-duty buckles, mil-spec buckles. And in this tiny kit, and you got, of course, the heavy-duty, high-quality strap, with then just clips on here. Boom. Another one clips on here. Boom. And again, you got MOLLE attachments here too as well. So once you're wearing this on top of you, you can also put your knife here. If you like your knife up here, you can put your knife right up here if you want, on the shoulder pad. All right? And you just extend that. Simple to extend. And now, you got a haversack kit. You got a mini haversack kit with shoulder strap. Right on your person, whenever you go hiking, you got the 5 C's with you. And everybody who goes hiking, tramping through the woods, anytime you're in the woods, you better have the 5 C's. If you don't, you are big trouble screwed. Unless you're super, super, super high level with fire, friction fire, even though it's not guaranteed. You should always have a minimum 5C kit. Always. Grab handle, this weighs less than a gallon of milk, so this weighs probably, and that's about 8 pounds, so this probably weighs 4 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds. 3 or 4 pounds. With water, maybe you got another pound of weight, so you got maybe 5 pounds. So 5 pounds, you got surefire insurance to save your ashtray when you're out in the wilderness, okay? So this is for wilderness survival. And of course, remember, wilderness survival merges very well with urban survival. Very well. You know, you can just add a couple things. You could add a lockpick set in here for urban survival. You could add a hex wrench for accessing, building water in urban survival. You can add a little flashlight for urban survival, whatever. But for wilderness survival, this is it. Okay? This is normally, what is this? Normally what is it? How much is this, Uno?
It's about 140.
All this, with this heavy duty pack, all this is 140 what?
145.
145 normally. But for Sanctuary, Car Arms is going to give it for?
122.
122, baby! Or 121.99. Bang! Right there. Nice providential number. All right? And there you go. Awesome pack. Mini 5C kit. Look, if you don't want that out there, you're walking through the city with this, just take it off. Just take the thing off. You know what I'm saying? Just toss it in here. Now nobody can see it. You got your grab handles. It's got overlapping pads so that no rainwater gets in there. Bam! You got your MOLLE kit. You can attach this, look, to your bag, to your pack. You got other. You can put your haversack straps right here if you want, so that it rides a little closer to your back. All right. You got the heavy-duty modern mil-spec MOLLE here. You can add more containers, first aid pouch, whatever you want. Just throw a couple Band-Aids in there, and throw some duct tape in there, and you got a first aid kit. All right. And look how much room you got. You got tons of room still inside. So you can still add a meal. Let's say you want to just go for lunch. You want to go for a day trip? Grab this. Throw a little lunch, a little coffee in there. Boom. You still got tons of space. This is extendable. All right? This is extendable. So you got this heavy-duty mil-spec Pathfinder embroider right there. Boom. Check out that. That's dope. There's Dave and Pathfinder school right there. See? Heavy-duty. You're good to go. I'm ready to go. I'm going now. All right? So look, That, and for only for Sanctuary, right? We're gonna have that discount for Sanctuary, because I've been telling everybody to get your Seven kits ready. They haven't done it, and there's too much research to do. So we've just put together the King's Kit, so it's easy to do. $121.99, boom, just pick it up. You got your 5C Wilderness Kit. Let's take a short break, and afterwards, let's go look into our second plan kit, which is our family kit, and that's a higher level, a second level plan. We'll be right back after a short break. Stay with us.
In this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Our God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring, he's roaring, he's roaring like a lion.
God's not dead.
Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to see a revolution somehow. Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to bring a revolution somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom. And this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. Let hope arise and make the darkness hide. My faith life is dead. I need a resurrection somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom. And this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside,
we are back. Second King reporting live from the Cheonggyeong Palace here with Mr. Choi Hoon-oh from the Carms retail, from Carms store and Tommy Gun Warehouse. Now, we just covered kit number 1. Now we're going to kit number 2, or plan number 2. That's King Kit plan number 2 for your family, for family level, okay? So this is a much more beefed up system. Of course, as you recognize. Way more beefed up, way more beefed up, okay? With a way bigger first aid kit in here, because obviously your family needs to have, if you have children, you have small children, and you have a scenario where it's even Hurricane Trinity, it could be a natural disaster, okay? It could be other type of disaster, chemical, nuclear war, it could be natural hurricanes, it could be earthquakes, it could be civil war, you know, anything. First aid, you're gonna have to tend to your children and tend to their wounds. Because you know kids, they get wounded. And especially if they're hunkered down, they have to hunker down for 72 hours. They're gonna be bored and they're gonna be getting cut, probably. Okay? So this is the family level kit. And of course, it's to be used obviously by the adult in the family. All right? That's why you have multiple things in here. And you have multiple, this is a way beefed up kit. Very large beefed up kit. All right? So we'll start with the container element. You can see how massive this massive bush pot is. This is the biggest pot that the Pathfinder School makes. Okay? Stainless steel. This is heavy gauge butterfly handles. You can still do the same thing with a huge Y stick. Probably, I don't know if you can actually lift this thing with a Y stick because it's going to be, carries about a gallon of liquid. This will be about 4 liters. So this is like a gallon of liquid you can boil. So think about it, when you need to be hydrated and you need to keep your children hydrated in the wild or in the wilderness scenario, or even if you're in an urban scenario and you have access only to dirty water, you got to boil it. Well, you have now a gallon capacity to boil. You have a massive pot, okay? Now what's wonderful about this pot is that it's got a 3 locking positions. This position is when you're trying to use this as a Dutch oven, all right? So what you would do is you lock it up, and then when you want to lock it down, and you put the coals on top, you build your coals and fire around here, and this whole thing becomes a convective oven in which you can cook Dutch oven style food. Dutch oven style food. Now with a pot this big, this also becomes a regular convective oven. How does that happen? You keep your handles up. I like doing the handles up. You put it in your fire this way, lock your hand, bail this way. You can even lock it like that or just keep it off. Push it in and just lock it down completely. Put it in your fire this way. Get your bail handle off. Put a little plank of wood, a little bark, a little flat piece of bark that you shape with your knife. Just shape it into like a little plank, like a little cutting board. Put it in there so that's resting inside there, right? Like on my hand. And then put the bread and the dough right on top of my hand. All right? Put that in the fire. Build the coals around it. Close your oven. And now you have an oven to bake biscuits, food, those comfort foods that are going to be so important in a survival situation and for your kids, especially if you've got small kids. Give them those biscuits and cookies, all the stuff. You can still do that stuff in this bush pot. So it's basically not only a water boiling container, a stew pot, not only a Dutch oven, it is also a little oven. It's a portable oven. You understand? That's why it's so versatile. That's why it's at the family level. It's so freaking massively huge. I need to pick me one of this. I only have the 2 liter. This is the newest one. This is 4 freaking liters. Massive! Look how huge that is. That's bigger than my face, my gosh. Huge, huge, huge. Also, what's wonderful thing about this is that you put that handle down, now this becomes almost a full-size frying pan. The lid becomes a full-size frying pan. And of course, anybody who knows me and bushcraft with me, they know even my 2 liter one, the smaller, I'm always frying stuff on here, right, Shimano? You saw your daddy do that many times, right? Sausages, bacon, I'm always frying fish, whatever. I use it as a frying pan all the time. And can you believe it? This kit comes actually with a high-quality Leatherman. Leatherman, can you believe it? Freaking leather. You got a Leatherman with this kit. That is ridiculous. A Leatherman, man, I can't believe we squeezed this in. But we got the Leatherman with the one-hand operational pliers with the spring mechanism side, so you can just operate it with one hand. Look how convenient that is. Even the higher level quality Leathermans don't have that. All right. But this one has the wire cutter, has the hex, the screws, pliers, and it's got the needle nose pliers, the needle nose for the very micro stuff. And of course, you just use this as a little frying pan. Look at that. Becomes a frying pan now. Easy in, easy off the fire. Easy in, easy off the fire. So simple. But you have to understand how this kit works. It works in conjunction with this multi-tool, okay? Which then, of course, becomes your redundancy. Because in this multi-tool, look at this. In this multi-tool, you've got a survival saw, a small saw, which you can use to, of course, make primitive traps, which you can use to, of course, cut smaller pieces of wood to build things, tables, chairs, all those things. A mini high-quality saw comes in tremendously in advantage. All right? There you go. You got a small little saw in your multi-tool. You also got a fine edge blade. Now in survival, we do not like serrated blades. Serrated blades are a waste of blade. So you have all the Leathermans, and the reason why I chose this one is because it's a full straight blade. So even though you're in a situation where your primary knife, which is included in this kit, and also combustion device as well, fire rod there, is broken, you broke it, you still have a backup blade, which you can still do feather sticks in with, you can still light fires with, etc. You name it. It is simple to use, and every man, and every really girl too, should have a multi-tool. A multi-tool is an absolute must, because tool heavy, you have to understand, in long-term survival, tools are your money. When you look at long-time survival, over 72-hour periods, tools are your money. Tools are what help you build other stuff. So the more tools you can carry in a small package, the more versatility and power you have basically in a wilderness scenario. Tools are essential, okay? This also has a serrated blade you can use for cutting cord and stuff like that. Not as useful, but you still have it. You have a file to sharpen your knives. You got a measuring gauge here. You got a lanyard hole, and you got a can opener for if you have canned goods or stored goods for your prepping. And of course on the inside here, as well on the other side, you have your standard Phillips hex, Phillips plus and minus screwdrivers. So you also have a utility tool which you can use around the house instead of fixing bikes or whatever. But at the same time, it also becomes a survival tool because it's got the survival saw and it's got the fine edge blade, not serrated blade as your primary blade, all right? And this I use all the time in conjunction. It's got the spring-loaded thing. It's got the wire cutters, all that. I use the needle nose pliers, boom, to get my fire pan and to grill up. This becomes, look at that. This becomes your fry pan right here. On top, your oven, convective oven, Dutch oven, and stew pot. I've cooked squirrels in a smaller pot, in their smaller version, 2 liter. I've cooked squirrels, I've cooked fish, everything, you name it. Anything we can catch in the wild. We've cooked raccoon, I've done raccoon in it. You know what I'm saying? This pot alone is money right here. This pot alone is money. Massive, massive 1 gallon stew pot. Look at that. And of course, we covered the Leatherman. So you got the Leatherman there too. All right? You got that as part of the family kit. Now, you got all these redundancies that come in the personal, individual kit too. All right, your 5C kit. You still got your blade. All right? You still got your redundancy with the sparkle, the fire rod inside here in the handle. You still got your mini inferno and your char tin. Don't forget about that. You got your char tin as well. All right? You got your char tin. Then you got, at the higher levels, now you got your cotton bandana. This is for first aid, bandages, slings. Also, this is a sniper veil. So in this scenario, you may need to hide certain things. You may need to hide your pack. You may need to camouflage your pack. You may need to camouflage your face. If you're gathering items for your family, you're scavenging for your family, and you're coming back to your bug out location, you may need to have camouflage. All right? So you got camouflage here. So when, for example, the dad or whoever, the son, is going out to scavenge and come back to feed the family, then you have a camo sniper veil, which also, because as you can see, the cotton is also webbed into a net. This can be used as a fish net as well in a survival situation. Okay? And how you use this as a fish net is you just place it, build up rocks in a stream. You build up rocks so there's walls, and then you place the net in between a hole that you create, right? You just build 2 walls, basically, if the stream, build 2 walls here so the fish can't swim outside, and you just put the net put the shemagh inside the middle. Just with some stones, hold it down there. So there's a net there. And then you walk upstream, and then you just start making a lot of noise, splashing around, and the fish will swim downstream right into where? The net. Also, you can use this to make a improvised haversack. So I have it in one of my videos that has over 150,000 views, my shemagh video. Top 21 ways to use your shemagh. This sniper veil can be used as an improvised haversack. You just tie it up in a diagonal fashion, and you can tie it up again, and you have a little bag that you can carry. You can carry other items, or even these items, in your little sniper veil. All right, so you got your sniper veil. Now, some of the big upgrades here. You got your survival bracelet. So that's anybody who's scavenging for your family and coming back. They would keep, the most responsible, probably the father, would keep on the survival bracelet because he's going to be doing the most things for the family, probably, right? He's going to be the most skilled, and he's probably going to be the one who's going out to try to hunt or trap or whatever for the family. And so then you have the survival bracelet, emergency bracelet. What do you have in this small little bracelet that you just wear on your wrist? You got gorilla tape for first aid, reptile shelter for repair shelters, rafts. You have to repair rafts. You have tools for emergency. You have bandages. This becomes the best bandages. Duct tape becomes the best bandages. So we got duct tape in there. It's also flammable, and it burns black. So it also becomes a signaling device because it produces black smoke, which can be seen from far away. Okay, smoke signaling. What else you got in here? You also have wax jute twine in here, which becomes another extra redundancy tinder source. All right, you got another tinder source in there that burns for over a minute long. Okay, and you also have in here, see this in the clip, inside the clip, you have this long rod here. The middle rod is actually a ferrocerium rod. It's a fire starter, just like the one you have in here. So it's another redundancy. Even with this bracelet, you have now 2 fire starting materials that are completely waterproof and water, not only resistant, waterproof. You can drop this in the water. I had this in Maine in the freaking ocean seawater, which rusts everything, and this thing is working fine out of the sea, the ocean. All right, so you got your ferrocerium rod, you got extra one. People who don't know, you're gonna think that's a piece of plastic. That's not plastic. That is a ferro rod. That's an extra ferro rod. And you have a scraper right up here. Scraper up here, which can also be used as a signaling mirror. Okay? Because you use that mirror to reflect light between your fingers, and you shoot that light between your fingers, and it will signal the other person with light reflections. Can be seen from over 40 miles away. Okay? Signal mirrors can be seen. You also have you have all that cordage here. You have about 8 to 10 feet of paracord cordage here, which again is the 550 tensile strength here. Same kind of thing. And you have a mini fishing kit in here. You have your survival mini fishing kit. You have 2 fishing hooks. You have bait with insects. You have bait that you can hook onto your fishing hooks. And then you also have fishing twine in here as well. Okay, you have your fire starter, your ferrocerium rod, and you have your paracord. I hate it when people call this a flint. This is not a flint. Flint is a type of stone, you idiots. Learn your damn survival. This is not a flint. This is a ferrocerium rod. A flint is a type of stone that has a Rockwell hardness of over 6 on the number scale. All right, that's flint. Flint is a different type of stone. You use that for flint knapping. Use that for creating primitive cutting tools. Flint is not what this is called. This is not a flint. If you see any bozos online talking about a ferro rod as a flint, you know that idiot doesn't know what he's talking about. It's a ferrocerium rod comprised of soft mixed metals and a different type of mixed metals that comprise a ferrocerium or ferro rod. All right, so get it straight. So you get that survival bracelet inside the family kit as well. Of course, you have the heavy duty reflective tarp. One side is green. This is the same in your personal kit too, in a small kit too. One side is green, okay? One side is this one green? I believe this, yeah, this one is green. One side is green for camouflage. One side is silver for reflection. So you use the one side of silver if you're in the desert and you want to reflect the sun away from you and you need shelter from the scorching sun. You put the reflective side up so the sun is reflected away from you and it's cooler inside, you understand? In a wilderness scenario where you need camo, You have this reflecting inside, so you create your fire inside underneath the shelter, close to the shelter, and the fire through convective heating will reflect off of that silver material and come back and hit you. So that reflective material will hit you if you're laying down underneath that tarp. And the fire is here, you see? The fire will reflect back onto you and give you double the heat. And that's how you use your reflective tarp. This, of course, is reflective, so you can use it as what? Signaling device. Hello? This is a big signal mirror. Huge signal mirror. You can just shine it into an airplane and get signaling and rescue. All right, so you got that same tarp. Camouflage. Carrier transporter. Charger transporter. Load hauler. Shelter. Ground tarp. Emergency blanket. And gear cover. Of course, if somebody is very cold and they're injured, you put this blanket on top of them with the silver side down, so their heat is reflected back to them. 90% of their body heat can be reflected back to them from the convective, from the conduction and the reflective energy. That is reflecting your own ambient radiant body energy back onto you. Okay. So that's also included in the kit. Now, this is also included in the kit. This is a family style kit. This is from SOL. Very good survival company. And this has way higher levels, okay, of stuff. All right, so what we got in here? We got dressing, moleskins, pre-cut and shape. Okay, so you got a first aid kit in here, as you can see in the picture here. All right, right here. You can see in the picture. Right here. All right. So you got dressings, you got moleskins, which are for preventing blisters. You got dressings and gauze. You got sterile pads, 2x2 sterile pads. You got 3x3 sterile pads. You got dressing, two of each. You got 2 dressing gauze sterile 4x4 pads. You got 2 of those. You got 2 more dressing non-adherent sterile pads, 3x4s. You got 1 bandage conforming gauze, a non-sterile, 2 inches. You got 4 bandage adhesives with fabric. You got 2 bandage adhesives, fabric, and knuckles. You got 4 bandage butterfly closures. You got 1 tape and cloth, half an inch by 10 yards. You got 4 ibuprofen tablets. This is all part of your first aid kit still. It's part of your medical kit. You got 2 antihistamines or anti-allergy stuff. 2 after bite, sting, and itch relief wipes. You got 3 after cuts and scrapes anesthetics and antiseptic wipes. You got 3 triple antibiotics in here. You got 1 tincture of benzoin topical skin adhesive, vial. You got 1 povidone iodine solution, which can also be used to purify your water. You have 1 splinter picker and tick remover forceps. You have 1 nitrile glove pairs with hand wipes. And you got 1 EMT shears to cut through clothing so that you can get to traumatic wounds. That's in this medical kit. All right? That's not only in here. That's a medical kit combined with survival kits. You also have survival and gear repair kit here as well. You have another SOL survival blanket in here. Another survival blanket is in here. All right? You also have you have also an emergency LED headlamp and light clip in here as well for visibility and 2 hands usage in the nighttime. All right? You also have 1 button compass in here. You have a slim rescue howler or whistle. You also have a fire starter in here as well. A redundancy with your ferrocerium rod. Now you have over 3 different ways of effecting fire. You have 4 Tinder Quick fire starters, but you also, of course, get the Pathfinder, the Mini Inferno in this kit as well. You have 2 aluminum foil heavy-duty 3 square feet of 2 of those sets. So now you can use that aluminum foil to make into containers, which you then can hold water in and boil water in. You can boil water on the fire, or you can fire up the rocks. Put rocks into the fire, not water rocks in streams because they'll explode. But you make sure they're dry rocks. You put them in the fire, and then you take them out with sticks and throw them into your aluminum foil. That will boil the water for you, and that will make it potable and able to be drunk. So you also have extra containers in it. Even though you have this huge container, you still have an extra container in here as well with aluminum foil. You have 5 safety pins, which have millions of survival usages, including even if you have to make a lockpick set. in an urban survival situation. You got 3 cable ties, which also can be used as urban handcuffs. If you have an intruder that you can beat up with your family, and then to restrain them, you can use the cable ties as handcuffs. Make sure you just handcuff them behind their back, because there's a way to escape out of those if you put them in front. So make sure you handcuff them behind their back. Cable ties, all right? You got 3 cable ties that are 8 inches, you got 3 cable ties that are 4 inches, and those are also good for making primitive shelters as well. Very fast to lash things together, tripods, you name it. You also got 4 nylon cords that are 18 pounds strength, braided, 150 pound test, 10 feet long. I'm sorry, 150 pound test, that means 150 pound strength, and they're 10 feet long. Okay, so you have another survival kit inside here, all right, included in this pack. All right, and you got another pouch. All right, so here you just open that up, and you have this like this. It opens up. Survival tools and gear, medical supplies. That's your med kit. All right, this is your survival tools, and a big signal mirror as well. Here, you got nylon cordage, you got the headlamp, you got the signal mirror, big signal mirror. That's a huge signal mirror. You got the fire starters right here. You got the whistle. You got the tinders, compass. You got your nylon cord. You got your survival bracelet, you got your rescue signal mirror, you got your containers with the aluminum metal foils. All right, and that comes in an opening bag, which then is also brightly colored so you don't lose it, and can use for signaling as well. So that's also included in the family kit. Also included in the family kit, check it out, 550 cord, but not 100 feet, 200 feet, 200 feet of cordage. 200 feet of cordage, 550 spec, mil spec, 550 cord. Bam, you get a whole roll of that. All right, that'll last you forever. And then, just for ease of use for the wild and for quick processing of river or stream water for your family, instead of boiling it, that takes time, you just throw it into your Sawyer water filter. I use this over Colorado trip because it was so fast, so easy. I don't have to boil water, don't have to spend 10 minutes to boil water. But you can get about 1 liter of water in here, super fast. Just pour the water right in here, and inside here, what's it got? It's got the syringe for back flushing. That's for back flushing, and it's got the Sawyer water filter. This Sawyer water filter is the best water filter. Don't waste your money on other water filters. This Second King has already tested all the damn water filters. The UN approved Life Straw only does 10,000 liters. The Sawyer water filter does 100,000 gallons. Gallons. That's 400,000 liters. UN approved one does only 10,000 liters. This does 400,000 liters. So you do the math. You drink 1 liter water, 1 liter of water, 1 gallon of water per day, let's say. You do the math. This will last you 300 years. Actually, 400 years. Over 300 years, this will last you. If you drink 1 gallon of water per day, and look how small it is. Look how compact that is. What I do is I put my fishing kit right on here. I just tape it on right here. I have like 20 different flies for my fishing kit right here, wrapped in my kit. This goes with me everywhere in my leather bag, in my survival bag. Always. This is by far the best filter. But what's so nice about this is it comes with a container. So you just throw water in there, dirty water, contaminated water. Okay? You got your little straws in here. You got your extra straw here. So you got the little lip here, which opens up. And you got your little straw. I use this all the way through the Rocky Mountains, baby. You pour your water in, close it up. It can be dirty, putrid, feces water, and you drink it. It could be a trough that you're moving through of some farmland, and there's cows that are drinking from a trough. Well, just take that water, and you can filter it, and you're clean. You're good to go. This will filter filthy, filthy water. I've drank swamp water, nasty swamp water, through this filter. No problem. That's how good this system is. So nice to have. And then you get clean water and just back flush the filter once in a while. Back flush that filter once in a while with your syringe. Okay? So you got this kit here. Easy to use, and that's why we put in the Sawyer kit, because it's so easy to use. It's a no-brainer. It's a easy screw off, pour the water in, and just drink. So you need to get your children hydrated fast. You can't mess around with boiling water or things like that. And sometimes in a survival situation, you can't make a fire in a wilderness scenario because enemies who are pursuing you can see the fire. So this way, you have access to water just by stream. You can still conceal yourself in the dark and just have your family drink from the stream with this water. And of course, you can carry it over distance, which is fantastic. This water filter and bottle, it's blue, yeah, okay, but it may look blue, but it is fantastic. By far, the best water system on the market today. So you get all that, plus you get one test meal. All right, to practice your kit. We want you to practice your kit. You can fill it with other type of food supplies in there, but we give you one meal for your family so you can practice with your kit. Practice with your kit. Get your kit, boil water in it on the fire. Make a fire with your kit. Practice with your tinders. Practice with your fire implements. Throw in some ramen noodles. These are the ones that we have. You can, what is this? Chef's Best Excellence Award. Hot and spicy noodles. Just throw in those ramen noodles. And you get 5 udon sausages that Koreans and Japanese love. Throw them in there, and there at least you get one practice meal. All right? We put in there so you get a practice meal. Test your kit out. As soon as you get it, practice with it. Fry these up on your fry pan with your Leatherman. Get your exercise in. Get your repetitions in. These are conditions you make before you use the kit in an emergency situation where you're stressed out and under duress. So you get that whole meal kit. You get one meal to test your kit. Basically, or you get 3 meals if you want. If you eat small, you can have 3 meals. Whatever. But we packed a lot in there so you can just fill that whole thing up. Hit, a big bowl of ramen noodles. Call your kids out to the backyard. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time. Have a little bushcrafting time. Have a little fireside chat. And test your gear. Get your gear dirty. Get your gear tested. And then, of course, all your other kit here. Now, all of this, because then we have the high quality Pathfinder Haversack super high quality deluxe bag. This is a Haversack kit. This is a super high quality mil-spec bag. This water bottle goes right in here. Boom. You're set, good to go. With a drawstring right in here. Incorporated on the side so it don't go nowhere. All cool, tight coyote tan, camel, and also Pathfinder embroidery right on the front. Heavy duty mil-spec buckles with the MOLLE strapping. This can be your fire kit. This can be your survival, whatever you want to put in there. This can be for your tarp. You know what I'm saying? You put that in there. You got all these mini buckles and zippers everywhere on this pack. I mean, you got tons. You got the aeration pads on the back so you don't sweat. You got more MOLLE strapping on the top. You got more of a MOLLE pockets on top of that with MOLLE webbing. And you got another pocket, again, where you put your fire kit, your fishing kit, you name it. And this huge bush pot fits in here. Fits in here. In this heavy duty, high quality Cordua Pathfinder Haversack. Look at that. That thing looks dope. Look how awesome and modern that looks. All right. Now, when you get this, you're going to be very mixed up with all these straps. All right. So I'm going to explain these straps to you so you can understand. These straps are going to really boggle your mind. You're not going to know how to strap them up together. So very simple. There's 3 different straps, folks. Okay. One strap has all these clips hanging off it, right? That's your belt strap. Okay. That's for your belt. That's for your waist. This is for your waist belt. All right, so let's leave that aside. That's just your waist belt. So if you want a waist belt, which you can have, you can attach that to your pack. But keep that aside for now. All right, then you got these with the shoulder pads. All right, you got the shoulder pads, right? And these shoulder pads allow you to do what? They allow you to configure this pack into a backpack configuration with 2 straps or a haversack configuration. What we call messenger style bag, right? In the urban places. I like doing it as a messenger style bag, all right? So let's show that. You just get these 2 straps, clip them together, all right? Now you got the straps on the back. So this is an easy way, like a purse. It's like a lady's purse. Just think of a lady's purse. You got a pack right, you got a strap right here, and you got another buckle right here. So just clip that on. It's not complicated. It's just people don't know how to use it. All right? So now look, you got like a bag that is attached like that. Very simple, right? You see that? And you just throw it over like a haversack. Boom. And now that's on like a haversack. Adjust it how you will. And now you got this big haversack with a huge, awesome, high quality Pathfinder embroidered pack. All right? And all this kit, you can just toss right in here. all this kit. Just toss it on here. That's like your family go bag. This can be your bug out bag. This can be your emergency family bug in bag. Okay, but it's away. You can even leave it in a car for a car bag. 72-hour kit. Oh, this is a little too big for a 72-hour kit. But you can keep this in your house or right near the door with a grab handle. It's good to go. Boom. You know, just grab the back. You're good to go. All right. Keep all that in. Throw a couple meals in there. Throw a couple, ready-to-eat meals, instant meals. You know, use this one. That we give you this food. I want you to test it. 'Cause I want you to test the items. I want you to work these items. And then you keep it in there, and you throw a couple, camping meals in there, 5 or whatever, just an emergency for a 24-hour situation, 72-hour situation, you name it. You got your water bottle purification kit. You got all the stuff. You just keep in there, and you store it. And it's good to go. And of course, if you go camping, use it. Practice with it. Practice with your kit. All right? So you get all this incredible items with all those redundancies, all those details that I showed you about the knife, the combustion device, the Leatherman. You got a high quality Leatherman that lasts a lifetime. You got the Inferno with the mini Inferno with the char tin. You got the 1 gallon monster pot. 1 gallon monster pot. I mean, that is awesome. You got the survival bracelet with the fire rod inside there, and the fishing kit, and the jute twine, and the paracord, you name it. You get the 5x8 tarp with reflective siding. You get the sniper bail, fishnet, you name it. You get that 1 meal test kit that you do to boil your kit, make a meal as soon as you get the kit. You get 200 feet of paracord. You get a Sawyer water mini filter with the water bottle, which goes 100,000 gallons of purified water. In any type of stream, any natural water, body of water, lakes, streams, swamps, you can drink from them with this kit, all right, without boiling. You get that medical supply kit and extra survivor gear kit, all right, all that, and the pack by the pack, all right, with the belt strap here. All that is the family level kit, and that's what, plan number 2. How much is that normally?
Normally it's $360.
$360 normally for Sanctuary.
$299.
$299.99, baby. So normally $360. Now, thank you, Kukchinim Car Arms. They're giving it to Sanctuary for $299.95. Normally $360. It's going to be $299.95 for the family level kit. All right, and that's family plan number 2. Now, family plan number 3 is all this, same that you saw in number 2, but it includes this huge bucket. What is this big bucket? This is family plan number 3. This family plan number 3, this huge bucket. Huge bucket, all right? This is family plan number 3. All this stuff, family plan number 2, with plan number 3, 120 meals. 120 servings of food for bug-in scenarios, or if in a scenarios where you have to feed your family for over an extended period of time. 120 servings of food, and you get this, of course, 5-gallon drum. You can use that for trapping, you can use it for sitting, you can use it as a bench, you name it. You can use it just for holding water after you're done, so you can purify water and not go back and forth in the stream. Oh, big pack of food. All right, you got meals like apple cinnamon cereal, granola crunch, brown sugar maple, multigrain cereal, crunchy green, granola, whatever, you name it. You got lasagna in here. What else you got? You got all sorts of food in here. You got lasagnas, you got beef stroganoff and all this kind of stuff. But there's your 120 servings of food.
And it's long line.
Ready-made foods. This bucket is the just breakfast, it looks like, but we need the ones with the actual meals in there, okay? These are just breakfast here, but as a sample. But the number ones that you're gonna get is gonna have the meals in there with the lasagna and the spaghettis and the soups and the stews. And of course we have the 120 servings. This then goes with the whole second plan kit for your third plan kit. Ooh. All right. Third plan kit. This can store for 25 years. 25 years. So in the case that you don't have a survival situation or disaster in your area, you can still use it for camping because it'll store for 25 freaking years. Why is this company that also Kukchinim knows? So you're going to help an American-made company. I believe they're Mormon. I think they're Mormon. Anyways, he knows the owner, and Wise Foods, delicious foods, and you just add water. You just boil water and just cook up the foods. So it's used for camping, and you can store it for 25 years, etc. You get all this plus that, plus the 120 servings for how much normally?
506
506 normally,
normally, yeah.
and for Sanctuary,
It's 429.
$429.95 with the 120 meals included with the family pack. All right, so that's huge. Let's say that again. 506 normally.
For Sanctuary,
For Sanctuary,
429.
$429. Damn! Thank you, Cook Chinam. Thank you, Cook Chinam. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Cook Chung. So these are the packs. Will be different plans that the King has put together, and the Car Arms Retail Store is sponsoring us to give us these great discounts for Sanctuary and people in God's authority to be awake and prepared. We'll be right back after a short break. Stay with us on the Kids Report.
Feels like you're miles away. Don't even need no shade when your sun don't shine. Shine. Too many passing dreams roll by like limousines.
Hi guys, I'm down here at the range today. I just learned a new technique from the father of the 44 Magnum, Elmer Keith, which is called shooting out of the notch, which allows you to make really long distance shots and still have an extremely precise sight picture. So I brought my CW9 car down, and with this little gun, we're gonna shoot this little munchkin at 200 yards up in the hills, applying this technique, and hopefully we'll make the shot. To apply this technique, instead of using the blade of the front sight lined up with the top of the rear sight, I'm going to take the dot of the front sight and raise it up so that it's out of the notch, but I'm still going to keep the front sight on my target. Bringing that front sight up like that is going to compensate for the bullet drop over that excessively long distance with just this little gun. So if applied right, we should be making contact. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that's perfect. I saw this shot, so I'm a little bit out of breath because you gotta run to make sure that is what I thought it was, and it was. So while making this shot, from that distance with these white dot sights, it literally would cover the entire target. You couldn't see what you were shooting. So using the Elmer Keith technique, you were able to raise it out of the back notch. I can't breathe. Out of the back notch, allowing you to keep your accuracy, aim, and also still see the target, which is key because it was a hard shot, not gonna lie. But yeah, it went great, and Elmer knows what he's talking about. And for such a small gun to be able to take that hit, I'm very impressed with this. All right, guys, be sure to like and share, and I'll see you out on the range.
That was awesome. Hey, can I try that one? Yeah, let's see with the 380. Does everybody have eyes and ears?
I'm down here at the range today. I just learned a new technique from the father of the 44 Magnum, Elmer Keith, which is called shooting out of the notch, which allows you to make really long distance shots and still have an extremely precise sight picture. So I brought my CW9 car down, and with this little gun, we're gonna shoot this little munchkin at 200 yards up in the hills, applying this technique, and hopefully we'll make the shot. To apply this technique, instead of using the blade of the front sight lined up with the top of the rear sight, I'm going to take the dot of the front sight and raise it up so that it's out of the notch, but I'm still going to keep the front sight on my target. Bringing that front sight up like that is going to compensate for the bullet drop over that excessively long distance with just this little gun. So if applied right, we should be making contact. Let's see how it goes.
That's how you do it. Is that right between the eyes? Oh, that's perfect.
I saw this shot, so I'm a little bit out of breath because you gotta run to make sure that that is what I thought it was, and it was. So while making this shot, from that distance with these white dot sights, it literally would cover the entire target. You couldn't see what you were shooting. So using the Elmer Keith technique, you were able to raise it out of the back notch. I can't breathe. Out of the back notch, allowing you to keep your accuracy, aim, and also still see the target, which is key because it was a hard shot, not gonna lie. But yeah, it went great, and Elmer knows what he's talking about. And for such a small gun to be able to take that hit, I'm very impressed with this. All right, guys, be sure to like and share, and I'll see you out on the range.
That was awesome. Hey, can I try that one? Yeah, let's see with the 380. Does everybody have eyes and ears?
I'm down here at the range today. I just learned a new technique from the father of the .44 Magnum, Elmer Keith, which is called shooting out of the notch, which allows you to make really long distance shots and still have an extremely precise sight picture. So I brought my CW9 car down, and with this little gun, we're gonna shoot this little munchkin at 200 yards up in the hills, applying this technique, and hopefully we'll make the shot. To apply this technique, instead of using the blade of the front sight lined up with the top of the rear sight, I'm going to take the dot of the front sight and raise it up so that it's out of the notch, but I'm still going to keep the front sight on my target. Bringing that front sight up like that is going to compensate for the bullet drop over that excessively long distance with just this little gun. So if applied right, we should be making contact. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, that's perfect.
I saw this shot, so I'm a little bit out of breath because you gotta run to make sure that that is what I thought it was, and it was. So while making this shot, from that distance with these white dot sights, it literally would cover the entire target. You couldn't see what you were shooting. So using the Elmer Keith technique, you were able to raise it out of the back notch. I can't breathe. Out of the back notch, allowing you to keep your accuracy, aim, and also still see the target, which is key because it was a hard shot, not gonna lie. But yeah, it went great, and Elmer knows what he's talking about. And for such a small gun to be able to take that hit, I'm very impressed with this. All right, guys, be sure to like and share, and I'll see you out on the range.
That was awesome. Hey, can I try that one? Yeah, let's see with the 380. Does everybody have eyes and ears?
Hi, welcome to Tommy Gun Warehouse. We have a short video for you this afternoon. We want to show you how to work the action on a P380. This is our very small pocket 380 that it has a very strong spring, to work the slide. And this is because it's a very small gun, and we need to have that extra spring tension to actually make the gun work properly. So today I want to show you how to properly work the action. Ladies sometimes find it very difficult, not to mention some men find it difficult to work the slide. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how to hand a firearm to someone properly. The ejection port should be up, the slide is back, and nothing in the magazine well. Then you take this and you hand it to somebody in this manner. They should then verify that it is empty and nothing in the magazine well. And now what I want to show you is how to work the action on this P380. It's sometimes difficult for men and many times difficult for women, but if you know how, it's not that difficult. So Di is going to start out by facing at a 45-degree angle downrange. The gun is going to be, the axis of the barrel is going to be the same axis as her forearm. She's going to keep it closer to her chest, and then reaching over the top with her weak hand, she's going to make sure that this ejection port is clear, that her hand isn't in the way, because you don't want to have an accidental detonation of a primer and injure your hand. So using the upper body strength, you're going to, just work it together, push and pull at the same time, and lock it back. And it's just that simple. You might not get it the first time, but all it takes is a little practice and learning how to use your muscles, and you'll do just fine. Di had started this just a short time ago, and after the third or fourth attempt, she was doing it perfectly. So thanks for listening. Come down and see us at Tommy Gun Warehouse, and we'll show you this P380. Yes, sir. Hi, welcome to Tommy Gun Warehouse. We have a short video for you this afternoon. We want to show you how to work the action on a P380. This is our very small pocket 380 that it has a very strong spring, to work the slide. And this is because it's a very small gun, and we need to have that extra spring tension to actually make the gun work properly. So today I want to show you how to properly work the action. Ladies sometimes find it very difficult, not to mention some men find it difficult to work the slide. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how to hand a firearm to someone properly. The ejection port should be up, the slide is back, and nothing in the magazine well. Then you take this and you hand it to somebody in this manner. They should then verify that it is empty and nothing in the magazine well. And now what I want to show you is how to work the action on this P380. It's sometimes difficult for men and many times difficult for women, but if you know how, it's not that difficult. So Di is going to start out by facing at a 45-degree angle downrange. The gun is going to be, the axis of the barrel is going to be the same axis as her forearm. She's going to keep it closer to her chest, and then reaching over the top with her weak hand, she's going to make sure that this ejection port is clear, that her hand isn't in the way, because you don't want to have an accidental detonation of a primer and injure your hand. So using the upper body strength, you're going to, just work it together, push and pull at the same time, and lock it back. And it's just that simple. You might not get it the first time, but all it takes is a little practice and learning how to use your muscles, and you'll do just fine. Di had started this just a short time ago, and after the third or fourth attempt, she was doing it perfectly. So thanks for listening. Come down and see us at Tommy Gun Warehouse, and we'll show you this P380. Yes, sir.
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group, With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology, it's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Carr Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood, the history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun, to the best in compact concealed carry, Carr Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Carr Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit carr.com today. Carr Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Carr Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology, it's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Carr Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood, the history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun, to the best in compact concealed carry, Carr Firearms.
I know you're feeling like you got nothing left. Well, lift your head. It ain't over yet, ain't over yet. So keep walking, soldier, keep moving on. Keep walking until the morning comes.
And we are back! Welcome back to the King's Report. Post-apocalyptic Second King reporting live from the Chunhikong Palace. Woo! Look at that, folks. That's my Israeli civilian gas mask. Can they hear me?
Yes.
Everybody's laughing. Everybody's laughing. Our studio audience is laughing. That's my post-apocalyptic gas mask right there. Everybody's laughing out there. Oh boy. Okay, well check that out, y'all. Check that out. That is a real gas mask, by the way. That's a real gas mask. Thank you, Kuk Jung. He's the one who gifted those to us. But that is a real cool gas mask, and that's going to be, we got our post-apocalyptic shoot today, at least phase one of it, and that is going to be worn during, isn't that dope? That's pretty dope, isn't it? Check that out, man. This is a real gas mask. This is for real, okay? This is for real chemical hazardous warfare. And there you go. The post-apocalyptic Second King with the crown. Oh, Lord. There you go. There you go, y'all. There you go. We have too much fun on the King's Report. Everybody's having a great time out there. That's a good laugh in the morning. But check it out, y'all. This is our cool post-apocalyptic. Now, on those survival kits that you saw on the one, especially with the third level plan with the food supply, if you got a Korean wife or you got a Japanese wife or you're Asian couple or Asian Korean, all you can do is just get some packages of gochujang. If you're Korean, the gochujang packages are good. That's like the hot, spicy paste. And just get some of those packages, throw them in there. And they'll store for however long they store. And that way Koreans can still have a taste of their own flavor of food, because most of the meals in like beef stroganoff stuff, if you add kimchi to it, add gochujang, it tastes delicious. Put some hot sauce, throw some hot sauce in there. You know, and for Koreans. And if you're Japanese, throw some soy sauce in there. With some little wasabi. And you'll be happy. So all those meals you can just modify to fit your local taste. But, but check this out. We got our cute little post-apocalyptic thing. And we're going to be sporting these very cool gas masks. Just don't tell the kids, even though they'll probably all know by the time we do it tonight. Isn't that cool? Very cool post-apocalyptic gas mask. Make sure you don't dress like Antifa, kids. Don't just dress in black. You got to be post-apocalyptic. So it's got to be all these earth tones too, mixed in with blacks and leather straps and all this kind of, not all black. That just looks like stupid Antifa. We're not Antifa. We stand against Antifa. Now, look at look at these pictures. Oh my goodness, look at this. In light of this, the Hutchersons, who are so beautiful and wonderful, did a little photo shoot of their own. Look at that. They did a photo shoot of their own, post-apocalyptic sort of. I'd like to see them with gas masks and stuff like that, and cool stuff like that, and grungy clothes. You know, to give it really a movie Hollywood effect, a Hollywood effect. But I would love to have, it would be great to have them up here if we did the shoot, but they're down in North Carolina. It'd be wonderful to have them all up here. But let's see some of those pictures. Go ahead, scroll through some of those pictures. There's the Hutchersons. And look at, hey, there's Shanna looking good with the AR-15, y'all. That's a new one I think they got with the nice rail system. Very nice. Go ahead, next. Hey, look at that. Look at Bruce, man. He looks like Sergeant Bruce. Whoa, Sergeant Bruce reporting for duty. He's got the crown on. Hey, good. Good. The married couple's got the crowns on. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. There's the boys. Looking good. Fingers off the trigger. Very good. Looking good, boys. Hey, there it is with Sergeant Bruce. Whoa, with his Pete Militia hat on. Look at that. Sporting it, baby. Sporting it. Hey, that's a force to be reckoned with right there. Wow, one family can have that much firepower. See how wonderful that is? Wonderful. That's a great, great role model. That's it right there. Defending the kingdom right there. Pete Militia, men and women defending the kingdom and the constitution of the Chunilguk and the kingdom of God. Praise God. You go, Hutchersons. Hit it, baby. Hey, there's the boys with some nice little cool little stalking shot. There's Dan with his hat on backward in front. Look at Steve, man. He looking badass straight. Look at him. Oh, yeah, Steve. You go, boy. Hey, John got some muscle. Look at that boy. He's working out a little bit, doing some jujitsu. Now he got some muscle. He's a computer geek. And now he's doing some muscle. He got some little bit of muscle. He's flexing on bicep a little bit. You go, boys. That's it, baby. That's it. Hey, babes. There you go. There's the girls. There's the Hutcherson girls. Hey, making it look dangerous and deadly. You go, girls. You go. Dang, look at them firepower, man. That's some dangerous stuff right there. They're not playing around. And there's their little tribe. There they are, looking good, looking cool. Very cute, very cute. All right, fantastic. And the little baby's like running around the tire. He's like, hey, there's a cool tire playground. Very cute. Nice job, Hutchersons. Kudos to the Hutchersons tribe and King Bruce out there and Queen Bergie, who are defending the Constitution of Chunilguk and defending the King of Kings, kingship and kingdom of God. Praise God, praise God. Beautiful, beautiful to see them and their family. Wonderful family. God bless them. Good job, guys. Good job. Wonderful. It'd be great to have them, man. You guys got to drive up today. Drive up and come to the photo shoot. If they're watching, maybe they can't. We'll see if they can. Oh, it'd be great to have them, man. You can wear those outfits and get your booties up here, man. Get up here for the shoot. Man, Bruce would look fantastic. Bruce, come on. Come on, Bruce. If you're watching now, come on. Give you a little live air pressure. Try to get up there. Come on, Bruce. Come on, Sarge. Come on, Sarge. Get your troop up here. Come on. Oh, man, come on. One day of Miss School won't kill them. Come on. Come on, Sarge. Get your booty up here. Get your tribe up. Come on. One day of school won't kill them. Come on. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. He's probably going to call me right now. All right, folks. Now, let's go to these wonderful little pictures. Now, we had another photo shoot with the Queen yesterday. And check out some of these cute little pictures he had. Photo shoot. Now, this is our bushcraft genre. Now, you've seen the elegant one with the black and white. You've seen the elegant one. You see the tactical ones where she's patrolling with the armor and the gear and the patches and the AR-15. This one is now the genre of survival and bushcraft, okay? But this is more stylish bushcraft. This, I would consider this more camping than bushcraft. But still, in camping, you can still practice your bushcraft skills. And there you go. And, you know, we tested with the crowns. Actually, a lot of these wilderness scenes look better without the crowns. But we tried to keep the crowns in there. You know, anyways, none of these are finalized pictures for calendar or photo books, whatever. But these are just samples that I'm looking at, that I'm, of course, sharing with you all here. Here's some other cute samples. This one's kind of cute with the nice canvas leather bag in the back. You see the primitive shelter that we built on Friday. I believe, what is it, Friday? We built that on Friday. And look, hey, there's the chief gave us that horn. Remember the horn? Hey, look at the cool horn, y'all. Look, check it out. Now look, she's going into the rabbit hole. Bzz, look at that picture. She's going into the rabbit hole. Woo, descending into the darkness of the rabbit hole. There's some other cute pictures. I like this one. This one is really cute. Here we go. Of the queen. Oh, I'm sorry, not that one. Was that one? Hold on. I'm sorry, this one. This one. Look at that one. That looks really cool. Doesn't that cute? Inside the shelter, primitive shelter. And that shelter, by the way, is held up by no modern cordage. That's all hemlock root cordage. So we did that shelter completely primitive. Completely primitive. That's held together by roots, okay? So you can see the root ball above her. But how amazing does that picture... Take me off screen. Take me off screen. Let them see the whole shot there. Look how cute that whole picture looks. So spectacular. Look how cute that one came. Didn't that come out nice? Didn't that come out really nice? That come out real beautiful. I love that one. Here's some other ones. Look at this one. This one's really cute with the horn. Check that out with the horn. See that beautiful engraved Native American carvings that the chief gave me to honor Chaniguk and the king. But look at those beautiful. That's the wolf, that's the bear, the healer, and of course the eagle above them. And they're protecting the queen when she's doing her solar survival training in the woods. Even though that's a staged, even though it was a set. But that's a beautiful little kind of storyline there. The bear, the wolf, and the eagle are protecting the queen. Woo! Praise God. All right. We also got, let's check this, a cute little picture with a different outfit on there. Check out this very dramatic Lord of the Rings shot. Very powerful with her antler horn, battling the devils and demons, warding off evil with her horn of the antler horn of battle. Now this is her with a beautiful, my beautiful small forest axe, Grand Forest Brooks axe. As you can see, with her very cute outfit, juxtaposed a beautiful wilderness scene. And thank goodness in this shot, there's no freaking electrical poles or wires. Okay, and you can see the antler there, the beautiful antler, the birch bark here for firewood. How cute is that? Isn't that cute? Now we have one with the queen with the crown here. That's not as bad. I mean, it's not terrible, but she's got the beautiful axe there. This is a really a wonderful shot right here of the, oh, I'm sorry, not that one. Here we go. There's a really wonderful shot of the queen hiking and trekking as she arrives at the primitive shelter. Isn't that cute? This is her checking in her, now getting ready to boil water for her primitive pine needle tea. And now taking out her fire implements. This is her discovering Lilaria. Look how beautiful that shot is. Look at that beautiful hair in the glowing sunlight on the hair. See how beautiful that is? Isn't that gorgeous? Very beautiful composition. Here's a gorgeous one too. Beautiful, as if she's discovering that hole with a beautiful outfit. Look how cute her outfit is. How cute is that outfit? Is that super cute? And that bag, that is such a cute, those Native American patterns come out so fantastic in the wild, in pictures especially. So beautiful. And with the sun behind her, actually we have another one here. Look how magical that picture looks. Isn't that gorgeous? Majidi. Eh? Beautiful. And she's got the crown there too. So that one I think the crown works better, okay, than the other ones. You know, it's hard to mesh in the crowns with bushcraft, especially if they're gold like that. But we were trying, just testing them out. Okay, there's another cute picture. Now here's another one with our other cute wool blanket outfit. There's the queen there with her magical pine needle, wand. And now this is a series of actual pictures where she is igniting the char cloth with, this is flint, okay? This is flint and steel. This is a more primitive, this is the sort of the frontier era and cowboy era, and even in the Iron Age, this is how people made fires, okay? This is flint and steel. This is how you, this is what I'm talking about, char cloth, okay? See that char cloth that you make in the tin that we're talking about? That black material is charred cloth, and then when you hit it with a spark that goes from about 500 degrees to 800 degrees, those very weak sparks can ignite this, okay? Ferrocerium rods can also ignite this as well. So in your fire tin, when you have char cloth, you just shoot your ferro rod sparks into there and it'll create an ember. You see what I'm saying? Creates an ember very easily. But that's your ember, and look at this series of shots. She's actually gonna blow this into flame. There's the ember, she's now removing it and putting it into the tinder bundle. Look at those beautiful curls, aren't they gorgeous curls? Beautiful curls. And look at this is actually a series of pictures where she's nurturing it and blowing into flame, and then, there it is. There's a flame, and there's a happy queen. Isn't that cute? Very, very cute. And then, hold on, where's these pictures at the bottom? And where's a good one? I think this was a good one. So this one? Where's the one with the eyes? Her eyes are shining. There it is. The eyes are shining in the fire, see? After she made the fire, and the teapot here, the axe and the pack, and the beautiful shelter behind. And look at that beautiful Mackinaw flannel pattern with the red juxtaposed to the green and the blue jeans. So cute. With the braided haircut, the queen looks so wonderful, and she's bushcrafting, doing some training. Okay, so again, this is another genre. You see that? We had the jujitsu genre, right? She had some cute pictures of her in her jujitsu training, right? We had her bushcrafting training. That's a very striking and beautiful picture. I like this picture. This is probably one of my favorite ones. In this series of set, I would say this is one of my favorite ones here. Isn't that a very dramatic picture? Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, that's probably one of my favorites in this set. And of course, her doing her tactical training, you remember, with the hammers, mallet. And of course, hitting some jujitsu training. That's her and Imo. See? So the queen is also getting her Peace Police Beam Military training done with her survival training. And then, of course, some of that tactical, dangerous patrolling training. She's doing some patrolling with the AR-15, the pistol, and the tactical vest on to build up her strength, and also, of course, to learn how to carry knives, blades, and rifles. And, of course, with the knives, very cool. AR, very cool. Beautiful one in the shemagh. She looks so glamorous there. Now, she can make army green and brown, earth browns look glamorous. Look at that. See how beautiful? You know, hitting some push-ups. Doing some running. Right? That's a more dramatic one. Getting some training in, patrolling, checking the perimeters. You see what I mean? So you've seen a ton of genres, right? Doing a little boxing. Doing a little jujitsu. A little inverted guard training. Doing that tactical training. Tossing them tires. You see what I'm saying? She's freaking James Bond woman. Hitting that bushcraft training. You see what I'm saying? All the different genres that are appearing. See all these incredible genres. And of course, we got to hit the samurai genre and the sword genre. Hit some picture with the sword. And of course, I'm going to get some pictures with me and her in there. But I have to train probably Gungi so that Gungi can take the shots. All right, so you see these kind of wonderful pictures, these genre pictures that are coming out. Isn't that nice? That's her making fire. Blowing into flame. See that? That was her, I think that was her first flint and steel fire, wasn't that, Amma? Now, you've done that before with the ember, but I think it's your first time where you actually struck the spark and hit the char cloth, so that was great. Very good, and she was very happy about that. So how wonderful. I actually like this picture too. This is a great picture here. I really like this. I think this is a very mysterious picture with the black and white and the carved, the shadows, the light and the shadows, and the queen there is being protected, by, protected by God. God is even sending animals to protect her. Such a wonderful thing. All right, folks, we'll be right back after the short break with our headline news. We're going to go over it quick, so stay with us. It's the machine gun fire headline news as we get back. Stay with us.
This is your love. This is your love. This is your love. This is your love. Oh.
This group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Carr Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit carr.com today. Carr Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Carr Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Carr Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Carr Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Carr Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit carr.com today.
You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is your love. This is your love. Oh.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this morning. As we get back from the break. Now, let's go to Tim the Agent Elder for our headline news. So we actually get through them, because if I do them, I always start ranting on some of the stories. Tim the Agent Elder, come on in.
Okay, well, the one story that we want everyone to know about this morning is that when President Trump said that the Obama administration had wiretapped him and his campaign, everybody poo-pooed it, conspiracy theory, nothing found. But he's now vindicated by CNN.
What? Trump has been vindicated? You must be a white supremacist, Tim Elder. Trump has been vindicated?
Perhaps I am, but anyway, Trump. Let's go through the Breitbart's victory speech here. U.S. investigators wiretapped President Trump's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, according to a report by CNN.
Tim can't be a white supremacist. His wife is Korean.
That vindicates the president's earlier claims, which were mocked as a conspiracy theory. President Trump had tweeted on March 4th, "Terrible, just found out that Obama had my wires tapped in Trump Tower just before victory. Nothing found. This is McCarthyism."
Obama was breaking the law. Again, these lawless criminals are ruling this country, and Trump's trying to help to take it back. But now he's surrounded by three generals, which are trying to isolate him away from the liberty movement. Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry. This is what happens. Okay, Tim, go ahead.
And we all know that this was mocked, but a report Monday evening said U.S. investigators obtained a surveillance warrant on Manafort from a secret court and had monitored him before and after the election, including a period when Manafort was known to talk to President Donald Trump. The report said the secret court that handles the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act had authorized a surveillance warrant against Manafort for an investigation that began in 2014, looking into his firm, the Podesta Group, and another firm's lobbying work for Ukraine's pro-Russian former ruling party. The surveillance was discontinued at some point last year for lack of evidence, a source told CNN. However, the FBI then restarted the surveillance after obtaining a new FISA warrant that extended early into this year. The report notably does not say when the new warrant was obtained. Manafort joined the Trump campaign as its chairman in May 2016.
You know what we have to make? We have to make an AR-15 bullet casing crown.
Okay.
You know the empty shells you shoot with the 223? Once you just pick up a whole bunch of shells, you can reuse them and make cool little crowns out of them.
Okay.
I bet you Robert can make that, or Jamal can make that real quick.
I'll bet they can. Or Lowell, yes.
Because they have plenty of casing.
Yes.
But that'll be cool, man. You got your AR-15 crown. Maybe that's one crown Kuk Chin Hung would actually wear. We'll make him an AR-15 casing crown with the Tonga Mark and the Car Arms logo on it.
Shall I continue?
Okay, go ahead, Dave.
Okay, thank you. Bankrupt Puerto Rico faces direct hit from Hurricane Maria. Actually, no, this may work out. I'm sorry to say this, but they work out better for Puerto Rico because they're bankrupt. They can't afford to rebuild their infrastructure. Now a hurricane's going to come in and wipe out that infrastructure, and they're going to get a lot of recovery aid. So this may actually work out for Puerto Rico.
Hey, and get rid of the politicians while you're at it, you know?
Blow away the politicians with that 160-mile-an-hour wind. So it said, but anyway, Hurricane Maria is forecast to hit Puerto Rico early Wednesday, testing local government's ability to respond to hurricane disaster. And, you know, the downside of it is that some people are going to die, I'm afraid. But anyway, it hasn't been hit by a Category 4 or 5 hurricane since 1928. They've declared a state of emergency. The territory's infrastructure has gone neglected for years, and in July, its power company defaulted on a debt restructuring deal when Hurricane Irma skirted Puerto Rico early this month. More than 1 million people were left without power, and many of them could remain in the dark for months, officials have said. Maria could wreak a lot more damage. If Irma shook us up a little bit and gave us a rude awakening as to just how precarious the situation was, something like a Category 5 storm will have us without power for a time that is unimaginable, said Philip Sean Rura, executive editor of the San Juan-based newspaper Caribbean Business. So they're in trouble, but they're also in the midst of a housing crisis with thousands losing their homes to foreclosure.
Look at that, water.
And many becoming homeless. The local unemployment rate is 10%, more than double the U.S. rate. The storm compounds already existing problems on the island, but you know the problems are so big that a hurricane coming through and giving them a clean slate might actually work out better for them in the long run. Small quake hits Los Angeles. NFL hell, LA teams a massive attendance drop. You know, NFL has been suffering from the demonstrations by players against the national anthem.
Idiots. They should be boycotted.
Yeah. Saturday's Texas USC had more in attendance than Sunday's Rams and Chargers games combined.
Nice.
Yeah.
Punish the NFL. It sucks anyway. The MMA is so much better.
The Los Angeles Rams are trending toward upward. A rocky first season in LA gave way to a 1-0 start in 2017. Last year's worst offensive team exploded. But anyway, they're not doing so well in terms of the attendance and the money. The NFL, you know, the NFL is a 501c3. Did you know that? They're supposed to be a 501c3 public benefit corporation. Japan deploys missiles interceptors near North Korea flight path.
There it is.
Yep.
Look at that. A little late. I would say they're a couple of days late.
But they're expecting more. Japan on Tuesday moved a mobile missile defense system on the northern island of Hokkaido to a base near recent North Korean missile flyover routes. Defense Minister Itsunori Onodera said a Patriot Advanced Capability 3 intercept unit was deployed at the Hakodate base on southern Hokkaido as a precaution as a part of government preparations for a possible emergency. The relocation came after a North Korean missile was test fired last week and flew over the southern Hokkaido and landed in the Pacific off the island's east coast, the second flyover in less than a month. The PAC-3 was brought from another base in Yakumo town in Hokkaido, about 80 kilometers northeast of Hakodate. Each system has a range of about 20 kilometers. But the problem is, not really a problem, but they cannot shoot down the missiles that are flying over. They can only shoot down the missiles that are actually coming towards them, because they can't get up that high when they're flying over.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it says,
But they are bracing for war, aren't they? Wow.
well, they're bracing for war. There was one a suggestion by one person that said, "Oh, we don't have to actually go to war with North Korea. All we have to do is surround North Korea with the ships, and then every time a missile goes off, go boom, boom, shoot it." But it doesn't really work that way. First of all, it doesn't really work that way. It's hard to. The easiest place to intercept a missile is when it's coming down. There are three stages. One when it's first fired, and then in the middle, and then when it's coming down. And coming down is the easiest. And even that isn't perfect.
And if you miss, you can see your doom coming to you.
Well, even if they hit it, North Korea will consider that an act of war, and they will start firing their artillery on South Korea. And there's no defense. There is no defense against the artillery.
No defense.
There's no defense.
No, none.
South Korea has no defense against that artillery. The only way to defend against the artillery is to go in and bomb the artillery pieces that are firing.
And they're hidden everywhere.
And that will take at least 2 or 3 days. Some U.S. planes will be lost in the process because North Korea has a very good air defense system. So 100,000 millions will die in the meantime.
I mean, the only way to stop that artillery is to basically use 20 tactical nukes. That's what Kuk Chung said. And, basically that's what, even Chief agrees. That's basically how you would do it. But you would have to do nuclear war. I mean, that
probably not
politically
tactical nukes, but probably strategic, because tactical nukes are like nuclear landmines, for example, are tactical nukes.
No, like shape charges. Basically, he was explaining that the tactical nukes, what they do is they go into the mountains and they, like shape charges, they explode the mountain. And basically that would get rid of the artillery that's hidden in those mountains. Because it would basically collapse the mountain.
Yeah.
So basically, that's why they were calling it tactical nukes, because they're basically like landmines or like shape charges. They're actually like shape charges. And they get in there and but shape charge is where the explosive, I guess, is a nuclear bomb. So it's a shape charge, boom, and it just explodes the entire mountain up. And so any artillery that's hidden there that you can't see from air or whatever, it's gone because the whole mountain's gone. And that's the only way basically to decimate that artillery. But you need to have a geopolitical sort of high ground to do a tactical nuclear strike, because you're going to be creating all sorts of nuclear holocaust damage. And of course, unless America's attacked first, it doesn't have that high ground, at least internationally. Nobody will support a tactical nuclear attack.
Next story, President Trump is scheduled to speak at the United Nations General Assembly today. And he will
Trump, come on, Trump.
And he will emphasize the importance of national sovereignty as a basis for mutual international cooperation. A senior White House official said Monday such a speech would mark a return by Trump to a foreign policy outlook that helped him blitz the Republican presidential primaries and win the White House in November. The Trump administration has been making nods toward a more globalist foreign policy in recent weeks, with an increased presence in Afghanistan and with administration officials appearing to wobble on the U.S. exit from the Paris climate deal. But the official told reporters Monday that his speech today will not just defend America first, but also appeal to sovereignty as the basis for good mutual international cooperation, with Trump set to promote not a top-down model of global bureaucracy, but instead the nation-state as the best vehicle for the elevation of the human condition, unquote. National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster had indicated Friday that Trump's address would also feature a heavy emphasis on sovereignty. Sovereignty and accountability are the essential foundations of peace and prosperity, McMaster said at the White House press briefing. America respects the sovereignty of other countries, expects other nations to do the same, and urges all governments to be accountable to their citizens.
Yes.
So I'm sure we will be covering that speech on the King's Report tomorrow.
Yes.
Trump's trade chief calls China an unprecedented threat to world trade. We need to go through that for just a minute or so.
Get that started on James O'Keefe in the middle column.
Yeah. He, see, I had that up here. O'Keefe is teasing a huge thing that he's going to announce over the next week or so.
James O'Keefe is such a hero. What a patriot.
He says that he's doing a huge story. He didn't tell us what it is, but he says it's a teaser. Well, let's do this, a trade story first. A top U.S. trade official on Monday said that China's mercantilism poses an unprecedented threat to trade that the World Trade Organization is not equipped to handle. The sheer scale of their coordinated efforts to develop the economy, to subsidize, to create national champions, to force technology transfer, and to distort markets in China and throughout the world is a threat to the world trading system that is unprecedented, U.S. Trade Representative Robert Leitziger said in a speech at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. In his prepared remarks, Leitziger emphasized that the Trump administration was taking a new approach to trade because past practices had led to failed policies and large destructive trade imbalances, Leitziger said. He singled out China's policy of seeking to transfer U.S. technology and know-how to Chinese companies as a major problem. The U.S. administration this summer launched a probe of Chinese practices known as the Section 301 investigation after its place in trade law. Let's see. You wanted to do the
James O'Keefe.
James O'Keefe. Is that on?
Tease's biggest ever media investigation.
Right.
Muses people will be fired,
Mm-hmm.
and we can actually watch it. Get that. Play that. Let's play that clip.
Okay.
Of James O'Keefe. There he is. We had dinner with him last time he was here. You got that? Project Veritas? Okay, we're having a little difficulty pulling it up. But Muse's people will be fired.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very important. His organization is currently operating one of the biggest ever investigations in mainstream media's holy grail, promising media people will likely lose their jobs over the imminent expose. He does such important work.
But apparently he's been given a lawsuit, and the point of the video that he made was to say that this lawsuit is not going to stop us.
Not going to stop us.
Yeah.
There you go. Food stamps usage has fallen every month of Trump presidency. In other headline news.
Mm-hmm.
Also, look at this: the massive Arctic ice gain. The ice caps are growing as Al Gore is proven wrong again. NBC reports you're a liar. Pro-immigration demonstrators confront Pelosi over DACA talks with Trump and chant "You're a liar" to Nancy Pelosi. Yes, they're finally realizing that she's a complete shenanigan liar. Laura Ingraham, Fox News show, the debut October 30th. Hannity will take on Maddow at 9 p.m. U.S. government wiretap former Trump campaign chairman and even CNN idiots from the CNN News Network the corrupt news network are forced to report it. Mattis, U.S. to send over 3,000 troops to Afghanistan. Oh boy, those generals are really starting to control Trump. Professor says we'll get rid of all the whites in the United States. End quote. She says get rid of all the whites. An infectious disease expert joked that a good way to eliminate vaccine refusniks, who overwhelmingly tend to be white people, is to simply get rid of white people. Muslim worshippers turn on police for wearing shoes in mosque. Officers rattled by the uproar in the UK after a tense argument erupted which prompted officers to enter the mosque wearing shoes. As Tim reported, Trump slams bureaucracy and mismanagement of the UN, urges them to enact bold reform. Sheriff Clark, Ben Carson are, quote, black white supremacists, leftists claim. Identity politics get even wilder. Chelsea Handler says black white supremacists are Ben Carson. Wow. What a total racist bigot. Chelsea Handler, you are a racist bigot. You are a slave-owning, racist, white supremacist, elitist, bigot, racist. Chelsea Handler, you racist bigot. You racist xenophobe. You racist white woman. You racist white supremacist. Chelsea Handler, you racist white person calling a black man a white supremacist, even though he's not white. You white racist biscuit.
Before we go off, the Federal Reserve is setting America up for economic disaster. This is on the Hill.
There we go.
One more article about that.
It's coming, folks. It's coming. Hungary also builds wall, cuts illegal immigration by 99%. And let's take a look at an interview video off of InfoWars called Proof Antifa and Islam Are God.
Bottom of the barrel. But first, powerful
Look, I
report,
think
idiots
that
react
people
to
just
London
don't want to
underground
admit
terror
that,
attack by Paul
we
Joseph
are
Watson.
at war with Islam, right? I mean, look,
another
after
Islamic
9/11
terror
happened,
attack.
President Bush said that we weren't at war with Islam, but over time, that has been proven to be false because look, it's not Judaism that's attacking us. It's not Judaism that's chopping people's heads off and making videos about it. It's not Christianity. It's Islam, right? And when people call it radical Islam, they need to understand that calling it radical or moderate Islam doesn't do any good for anybody because it's just Islam. In the Quran, it encourages Muslims to chop off the heads and the fingers of infidels. And an infidel is anybody who doesn't practice Islam. So, I don't like using the word radical Islam because
No, you're right. It's Orthodox Islam. People doing this are doing what Muhammad said.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
what
Orthodox
the
Islam. That's
Quran
right.
preaches. There's not a different Quran, right? There's no interpretation. It's not how you decide to interpret Islam in the Quran. It is word for word, barbaric doctrine that encourages the killing of everybody who doesn't want to submit to Allah.
You're being close-minded about throwing gays off buildings and cutting women's genitals off, which is the standard Islam. But seriously, how has the left then positioned themselves? Because every time there's a new terror attack, we get attacked, you get attacked. I mean, J.K. Rowling defends it.
Yeah, look, they're in bed with Islam, and we see that in the way that not only in which they defend these Islamists who commit horrible acts of terrorism, but they're also adopting their tactics. Look at Antifa, for example. Antifa is literally like white to ISIS. They dress up in black, they cover their faces, they carry flags, just like
They run
ISIS.
around and attack people with signs that say peace. They hit you saying peace, peace, like Mars attacks. Don't run, we are your friends. I'm going to kill you. This is peace.
And if you disagree with them, they'll try to kill you. I mean, we've seen it. They stabbed some girl in the neck the other day. They slashed my friend open.
This isn't stabbing. Love you. Lebra. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, like they're doing exactly what ISIS does.
Folks, that's it for today's show. We'll be back 5 a.m. sharp tomorrow. Today is the photo shoot, post-apocalyptic photo shoot. So we'll see the young ninjas over there. And then we'll see you tomorrow, 5 a.m. sharp. Tomorrow, Wednesday. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, stay strong in sovereignty. Also, in all this insanity, you gotta know how to have fun, folks. You gotta know how to laugh, even though the times get tough. Stay with God, be in His presence. God bless, Godspeed, and may His kingdom come.
I do.